15 seconds.
Snakebite's good, but they can't follow up on the damage. And now a chance for that spike to actually be planted for these players who've waited out for the past 2 minutes to finally force some fights, and they're favorable to begin. A post-plant setup as well with Viper utility to play off of. Foot will find this difficult. It starts by rooting out Saya player who's finding two. They're unable to do anything about
Saya fail right, dudes.
The trade maybe not on time, but with 45 HP and 2 players left to take down, Krax is in a lot of trouble. He's trying to fight them. And he'll get both of those on an offer. On his play, up at 2-0. But hey, listen, that follow-up second round, not as clean as Foot would have liked.
Not even close. If anything, T1 probably should have taken it. Like being left in what was a 1v3 scenario, Krax is able to pull one out of the bag. Again, that's one of the things we always talk about.
Hello, Rossi.
Is they have depth in these clutch players, but
मैं
I
तो
still feel like it
इस
wouldn't
बार
be
कंबल
right
बेड
to
पे
not
सो के
highlight Saya
वॉच पड़ी कर रहा हूँ.
Like he is always going to be an issue for teams.
Hey,
Somehow being in the
lag हो रहा है
background,
या
even
फिर
when he's
मेरे को
playing
lag हो
those
रहा है?
openers a
lag
lot
हुआ
of the
बीच
time.
में.
मेरे को नहीं आ
हुआ
रहा.
ना?
Now
बीच
with the
में lag
rifles
हुआ
in,
है.
just look at the purchase from
Rossi,
It's
welcome
gonna
to
be
the stream.
Bulldogs
कैसे
and
हो?
players, and the rest can't really
Ice
afford
bad.
to buy much more down.
Hey bro,
because
सबको lag हो रही है
they
सिर्फ
lost
मुझे
the
lag हो
last
रही है.
round.
Yeah, this
मेरे को नहीं हो रहा.
not able to fight anywhere
मेरा
near the
आवाज आ
level
रहा है
that
ना,
it
हेलो.
looked like they would be beginning this. I love the utility from
Chat
T1.
आवाज आ रहा है क्या? हेलो हेलो आवाज आ रहा है.
towards B.
Rossi क्या लगता है? T1 या Foot?
All of the space out of their
FUT
opponent's
baby.
control. And they're going to flash through to make
मैं
the
बोल रहा
play.
T1.
And even then, it's not catching.
Bro,
up.
FUT,
They've been
bro, it's
fully pushed back by
obvious
the utility
FUT.
the plant acquired.
Needing the heals.
Easy for
a
FUT
little bit of help.
2-0
Easy
go
for
home.
FUT. 2-0, go home, sleep 3:30.
2-0 T1 T1
Not quite being
2-0 FUT बोलते.
अबे ये
T1
क्या
बोलते
lag है?
T1 बोलते.
FUT बोलते 100
just
rupees.
around this corner, the flash connects, but he's not going to aggress
Wings
off
by
it just yet,
100
Mr.
rupees
Farland.
ये.
It's
वरना
already
एक
gonna put
Netflix
this
subscription.
to a further advantage. They need a bit of a hero, and the
उससे
trades
सस्ता तो
are
100 rupees है.
fantastic. Leaving Saya player once again alone, and he's going to get cleared out. But
पूरा कल सुबह तक किया.
2 bulldogs and 3 pistol
हाँ
damage.
आज भी कर रहा हूँ पूरा.
शीश आज मैं भी ट्राई करूँगा.
आज 3 है.
He's just firing through the smokes. He knows there's a spot there.
हाँ अरे बेस्ट मैच तो ये लगा दिया लोग. बेस्ट मैच नावियो से DRX सुबह लगा दिया.
Nothing backing it up. It was what, 2 bulldogs and then you're down to sheriffs.
That was it.
चैट सब साउंड ठीक है. सब ठीक है. कुछ डिस्टरबेंस आ रहा है. ऐसा फैन ऑन किया. उस फैन का साउंड बहुत
वो लगता है आपका स्ट्रीम का इशू है.
एंड
मैं समझ गया.
जो भी साउंड इशू आ रहा
अरे
है
मैं
मेरा
audio
आवाज
सुन के ना इसलिए.
गेम आवाज नहीं आ रहा है. कुछ नहीं आ रहा है.
वैसे बिंग्स आपका वो अप्रूव हो गया.
हाँ वो thumbnail आ रहा है.
हाँ मेरे को खाली वो चाहिए. टाइटल भी अप्रूव हो चुका है.
Done.
They haven't got anything to work with in this round. It's going to be the same as before with B, just denying the info, taking the space.
So that's something I really wanted to look into with this team, is sort of why they struggled versus their opponents. And a lot
Watch
of it came down to the
party
opening duels
stream,
versus
Bro, Barclays
duels
playing
versus
Rossi.
Kang and Ardis having a field
Playing
day
where?
versus T1.
See? QWR.
Well, he's gonna kick things off once again. Saya player though,
Oh भाई Saya ने 2
ये वाकले नहीं है. क्वाकले.
every single round becomes
मैंने बोला था ये राउंड जीत गया. मैंने बोला था.
settle on
बंक्स
their
भाई
side.
आपका
player का
They almost
कीबोर्ड
managed to get rid of Mr. Fallen.
नहीं रुको ये राउंड देखो.
और माउस है वाइट फील्ड में.
To start the round out. Got the blade storm
क्योंकि
online,
बीच में ट्रैफिक है
and that
इसलिए.
has been rewarded tenfold.
Bro,
Just
play like that,
56
dude.
HP. And although he finds the first, he is left on
lost
55. That's a tough situation.
2 Bangaloreans can relate.
Onto
T1 को पूछ
Bangaloreans.
कल पब में क्या कर रहा था.
They've got the angles here.
मेरे को भी मेरे दोस्त लोग ऐसा फोटो भेजा क्लब में जो T1 कर रहा था.
हाँ, मम्मी के साथ क्लब गया था ना मैं कल. राम जादू.
किसके मम्मी के साथ गया था.
वो पूछना पड़ेगा मुंबई में एक बार.
ये गया. ये गया.
हाथ से काला किला है यार.
T1 how many games you are streaming?
Bro till 6 baby.
शीश.
ये
चलो
2-0
चाय
होते ही अपन चट को.
चटको.
It looks like Moj might be about to come under the same pressure again this round.
यार लेकिन डेमन का गेम देखने के लिए बहुत मन हो रही है.
Demon.
By the looks of it,
Demon
Demon,
कौन है?
bro.
they're not changing it up as the barriers go
Bro,
up.
it's called
Same
Demon,
approach,
huh?
the same old wall on its way. Again, following up on it, Saya looks to
भाई हर round
be
be करेंगे क्या ये लोग?
By 2-0 FUT easily. अबे तू Bro,
देख.
really felt it bad yesterday after seeing
वो लोग बी
loud
क्यों जा रहे हैं
hammering.
पता है? उनका कॉम्प बी फेवर कॉम्प है.
हाँ बहुत अच्छा कॉम्प है बेटी वन का.
Loud
comp बुलाते हैं
Vipers pit down for the post plant.
He's gonna stay in it, I think. Yeah, lockdown.
भाई फुट ज्यादा एंगल्स खाली नहीं कर पाएगा रे. वो लोग का इनिशिएटर थोड़ा वैसा है.
क्या रीटेक ही खेलना पड़ेगा क्या? कुछ है ही नहीं ऑप्शन.
इधर 3 लोग ऐसा सामने फाइट करना पड़ेगा वरना गया.
कैसे करेगा बे? सामने से एक वॉल आएगा बंदा.
अरे अरे अरे
फॉर्म में
ब्लाइंड आ रहा है, ब्लाइंड आ रहा है, ब्लाइंड आ रहा है. दे दिया.
कुछ भी पिक नहीं किया. देख
Oh,
almost. But instead, it's Saya playing a huge round for Carpe, a highlight on the desk. And well, you've just witnessed the reason why.
Well, I think this is where Foot are going to start to get worried. That B site's being pressured again and again down B long. They're pushed out of B long. They're pushed out of B site. And on the way back through, the fights have not been pretty. And you got to give credit to Carpe, though. The fact that he's
Bro, I
able to
always
find that
read
space,
Carpe
even
naam like
checking on the
Carpe.
spike, seeing that it's not being diffused, this round was entirely his. But on the back of Zeta, turning around and obviously tanking the lockdown, keeping the pit online and giving them that angle to fight from. They couldn't even punish him once he fell back into the corner. It's a really nice response from T1. And this time, a big difference from how this attacking side is approaching the early round. And in the same way, a big difference in Foot's approach.
3-3 हो गया Rossi just saying.
That has left them very light
Bunks
elsewhere
by
on the map.
2-3-2 है.
Unfortunately, well, elsewhere is where T1 are bringing it.
Unless they're about to use an orbital strike to deny this, there's not really much they can put in the way. Now, to put things into perspective, Foot
वो साया एक दिन बेस्ट ऑफ 5 खेला तो उसका हाथ अकड़ने जाएगा.
वो पूरा 10 आवर प्रैक्टिस करता है. थोड़ी बेस्ट ऑफ 5 से होता है.
लाल बाग
allow you to get more defender side rounds in general, with that side being easier to lock out with an after plant already. It's a question of how much Foot actually want to throw into this one. Now they do have a bit of reserve cash, and for the other side of things, it depends how many orbs you want to sort of hand over to T1, but that's a damn good start. Carpe gone.
Yeah, he tried to sneak past the smoke. A second player coming
What's up,
this
Atta?
angle
What's
later.
up? What's up?
Munchkin,
Welcome to
but
Street.
he's going to be caught. Oh, but the shot doesn't hit. Mr. Fall.
चाइना से का इंतजाम करो
Well, they
करेंगे वो भी.
definitely stumbled on that
आज
play
सब
with Munchkin
आज पूरा तैयार हो
defending
गया
his
है
tooth and
उसको.
nail. The lockdown will be destroyed.
What the fuck?
Just about, but look at the time that it's bought. That spike already diffused. Ticking
ये
away quite
क्या
quickly.
किया
लौरे
आपने?
लग गए.
क्या
अरे!
किया बेटा भाई?
Spray from Ban saves the day.
भाई सब उठ के आ रहे पता है सब. सुबह सुबह सबका उठ के आ रहा है.
सुबह सुबह सबका उठ के आ रहा है.
क्या कर रहा है भाई?
गेम प्ले.
And then the aggression to actually get rid of that lockdown.
He was low, bro. See, he hit him already.
अब समझाओ बैन क्यों है.
Once again, definitely someone within this team.
मैं आज से नियॉन खेलूंगा.
I feel like it's been given.
पीछे से पड़ेगा अभी.
His jet's pretty good as well. Unfortunately, we're not
ये
going
बार
to be getting
पिच पे देख रहे हैं
fraction
YouTube पे.
ये ना पक.
For now, at least.
पिक्सल नोट
we
तेज
end
रहे
up
YouTube
level.
बा.
This is where the purchase comes
Baby.
back in, though, and that's where
लैग
the
ओडी तेज मध्य से
Kiwi
लगी.
operator becomes a threat. That B
मध्य
side a
लाइट
little
तक
bit
लैग
easier to hold down, but once
इतना
again, we're now
मस्त चल
seeing
रहा है.
T1 lean back in towards that A site. Real
Upgrade
opportunities
कर ले,
to solid
40-90 डाल.
execute with all of the utility that they have, and Ban's util
कौन
almost
है?
renowned for getting you into an afterplan.
Zotex से sponsor हो
Oh,
जाता
much
है.
more shallow this time on the wall through. Trying to link
Oh,
up with
30 से
Carpe.
push कर रहा है भाई. What the fuck?
On the back of it,
Sheesh.
Saya player will only get the one, and Carpe actually
ऐसा
caught
खेलते हैं
space
प्रेम.
तो.
एक्लेयर्स को बोल दो.
slowing them
भाई
down
इसका अल्टी भी आ गया.
and putting T1 in a pretty tough position. You still have a Viper's
जीतना
pit
फिर भी
to
मुश्किल
fight
ही है.
back in on the
Push
side
करना
of Foot.
पड़ेगा इनको.
They need to take some space of their
This
own.
time I
That's
have
exactly
noticed
what they're
one
looking
thing.
for. Out of captain in the
What is it?
Although he's moving fast, he's
Tanu.
not quick enough on his feet, but look at the HP of Ban. So
What did you
incredibly low
notice,
with Moj
Mr.
just trying
T-Bone?
to find
Bro,
him.
there is
He'll
no
locate
team
that
tag
final
in
kill,
the
even
name
save the
thing.
op through to the next round.
Yeah, and
Like
it wasn't
below.
bad from T1 considering how the
Below
initial
क्यों चाहिए?
fights went.
वहाँ पे नहीं दिखता है, ऊपर दिखता है मारने पे.
हाँ. वो प्रोडक्शन पे डाल देते वो लोग।
पहले था ना पीछे भी नहीं गया
वो प्रोडक्शन पे डाल देते।
कितना बजे उठा टिबन?
6 बजे मैं बैट करता हूँ 6 बजे उठा।
क्या चल रहे मैं सुबह
4
उठा
o'clock
6 बजे
सुबह 6 बजे
हाँ भाई बाबा जी को ड्रॉप किया उसके बाद आके सोया
उसके बाद 6 बजे
10 बजे उठा
and everything that comes with the
उसके बाद बैक टू बैक कॉल्स
don't know how
भाई
to get into that spot, but something that
टिबन
probably pretty good
business
देख रहा है?
can become a little bit easier for them. And now again, like this is how close
समझ
these
जा?
rounds have been.
मैं waiting for EG versus FPX EG 2-0 मार
मौज
के जाएगा
करेंगे वहीं पर भाई
This is Sire on a hero rifle, Mitch, and you know, there's
I
always
love his name dude मौज ओह क्या रश है
That's kind of what you're
Bro, what was the dash
मैं
man?
उसने हल्का सा whiff कर दिया।
हल्का सा नहीं, ज्यादा ही whiff किया हो।
अबे
ये बंदा लाइनअप ही डालते रहा वो डैश करके मारा भी
भाई बहुत क्रेजी गुस्से हैं लेकिन साया।
हाँ मैंने नोटिस किया
They're going all the way back to their spawn, moving around to be long, and sending Saya player walking, well, by the looks of it, on a flank of his own.
Yeah,
So
वो
you'll
बहुत
see,
difficult है।
they'll check in on him a little bit later on. Kiwi for now has to move his way out of this B site.
ये round गया।
Must be the name of the game.
ये round
For these
अरे
B takes, but
Nice
this time
shot,
Kiwi
Ray.
has something to say about it.
You know where is the mistake here? Harbor wall.
I don't think Cracks
हार्बर
is
वॉल वो
expected
कुछ नहीं कर
to
सकता
flank
ऐसे ही है।
from Sire.
नहीं वो आया ही नहीं
ओ यार केओ को मारता तो जीत सकते थे।
Cracks has done an incredible job at the back of the site.
बिंग्स भाई जो जीतेगा वो है फुट 2-0
नहीं T1
Bro FUT bro 66% win rate है
1 month 6 months Netflix subscription FUT 2-0
It seems like he read it for a second, but Cracks has done
T1
the
जीतेगा।
way of 4K for him, a little bit of a bait.
7-5 स्विच होएगा फिर पिस्तौल T1 जीतेगा 7-7 एंड कम बैक।
Now starting to build into it, as we sort of said.
You can see how scary
भाई
this
सिंगल
game
डिजिट
is,
आ रहेंगे
though.
T1
I
देख
mean,
लियो
if you imagine that was a full buy like we're seeing right here, not just
Hello,
the
see, I'm
hero
Immortal 3 right
rifle
now.
for Saya.
Do you know how do I
This guy
get
managed to
क्या
anything
बोलती?
to play
sprint
for?
up the
भाई।
door, grab an
Oh,
opening
एक
kill,
sec.
and then
हाँ क्या बोला?
flank
सुना
as
नहीं।
सिंगल डिजिट आ रहेंगे
हाँ
It's
सिंगल डिजिट ही
literally
होगा
just
दोनों
those
के।
players going on site don't have rifles. Cracks has a better chance in most of the
Bro,
fights that he
your
enters
chance
and is able
is
to connect them.
get
But
into
one
leaderboard
hiccup there,
और
one
ranked में
stumble,
ऐसा सब
the site
pro
falls,
teams को
rifles
pro
are
players को
retrieved,
मारते
your
रहो
flank is still
leader
an
mode
issue
में
late
top
into the
50
round.
at least आ
And
जाओ
Foot may have
and
just stumbled
start
on what was
recording
a
your
very low
gameplay
behind.
or
I think
streaming your
T1 can
gameplay
feel
and
pretty
start
confident
uploading on
with
your
how they've
YouTube
been playing
channel
so
and
far. This round
start
here, though, another
approaching
text.
teams
That
on
operator on
Twitter,
Kiwi
Instagram
caused
जो
a
भी
lot of
उनका
trouble
DM
in the
में
past. Push
start
up on
approaching
the
them,
1v3,
have a
too
file
much
ready
offer
of
just
what
yet.
you are,
This
who
is
you
where
are, your
again,
gameplay,
we're
all
starting
that
to
stuff,
see
what's your
play
role, all
through
that
wrong.
stuff,
This is
and
where
shoot your
once
shot.
more we've seen Mr.
Or
majority of users
play in
utility
tournaments if you don't have
try and
team,
hold on to some
try
of
to
that
form one.
control. And it seems like on the other side of
What's
things,
up,
the only
Virajas?
goal
Welcome to
really
stream,
of Zeta
buddy.
is to play into that
काश
late
किसी
lurk.
player
The
का
thing is, though,
monitor
they're
चल
so
जाए अभी
confident
what the fuck?
in Kiwi's position. Almost caught floating through the air. And that's a big kill. Now things get a little bit panicky. as the
वाकले ने
West
पूरा आगा उधर
pushing in towards that site.
फिर inclination जाओ और हार के आओ.
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
matter.
went
bro.
elsewhere. You know, that was just a flank on B. The lurk late into the round.
Do
Pass
all
it
students
close,
deserve
and they haven't
to
spotted him.
die when
The
they
repositioning,
fail their
spike
exams?
retrieved, and as we
भाग
saw,
बैन
that
भाग
flanker, that lurker later
There
into
are
the
people
round,
who take
still they're controlling
exams.
the B
There
side.
are people who
Zeta's got it on
play
lockdown. They
Ranchi
can move that
cricket,
spike
and
around.
there are people who
They're
play
doing so
IPL
a
but
little
never
bit
make
slowly.
to
It is allowing Foot
internationals.
to rotate into position.
It's there.
Maybe be close
But
by.
if you have
पहले
we
क्या कर
if you have
रहे?
citizens
They
like
catch
you, it's
them off
very
guard here.
difficult.
He's
So
very much just holding
keep
this
your
map control
opinion to
so they
yourself.
can get the plant in late round. It's a good pivot, a good recovery. Munchkin
timing
Hello,
patient,
sir.
but he's been spotted on the
what
way
a
back.
timing man
I'm looking at that null command as well. Now they've spotted that flank.
I think as oh
potentially remove the util.
so there-
bro I want to learn this wall
The rest of the players, they know they're
कहाँ से डालते हैं ये wall
backside, which
वो
likely
ऐसा
means that you
straight
got one out towards
straight
long,
जाके उधर एक ये
back
मिलता है
in on that.
वो स्ट्रीट लाइट के राइट से डाल सकते
wait from B main huh
Great kill.
यस
Starting to narrow down the angles.
B
but
में
they
नहीं,
didn't
pillar
know
से
that
डालते
Munchkin
शायद
was
वो।
still
pillar से ना
alive.
अबे उसने कैसे नहीं देखा बुलेट्स?
As Ada
Bro,
captain,
I'm telling
definitely a
you,
smile
these
on
guys
his
are
face
like
now
lit.
as they are pushing that lead even further up.
Yeah, that literally just came down to a few bullets. Munchkin did an
Is-
incredible job to find a couple of kills, but
भाई
again,
देखो ना
बिग्स
बे
तू कौन सा कॉन्फिडेंस से बोल रहा है T1 2-0 मारेगा मेरे को जानना है why what are the facts behind it
yeah give us the facts dude
please give us your
Bye.
facts
मैंने
first of all
G versus T1 देखा था।
हाँ, तो?
उसमें साया प्लेयर ने जो किया था अपने साथ
ये T1 के अगेंस्ट तो हम जीते थे ना
Time to grab a breather, as we said. Some of that early
नहीं।
round aggression
Bro,
is
रॉसी भाई रिप्लाई दे
मैं खेला नहीं भाई मेरे को मैं क्या
For this T1
ए
squad,
रॉसी भी वन नो वन
रॉसी
मैच भी
भाई
वन
रिप्लाई दे
no
with 3
हम
minutes
2-0 we lost all.
Yeah, 2-1 we lost.
out of their
ओए तो कांदा काट रहा है भेंचोद कौन कांदा काट
कांदा
known for putting up those rounds on the defensive side. So this first half really is just
मैं ही
बहुत
काटा
अच्छा वाइप कर रहे हो
rounds on the board that it's workable when they
Nacho.
swap over
Claim
when
भी
the
आएगा।
defensive side is mounted.
Yeah, I don't think it's impossible for them to turn the
What is
tables.
Vatsal doing?
Obviously, I think
What
this
the fuck?
composition-
अबे उधर लड़का लोग भी है सपोर्ट करने को
Solid util for the
He
retake,
is the
some sort of
Vatsal?
delay potential, which
कौन?
can be quite
किधर?
hard to play
Vatsal
up
था
against. I am going to be intrigued to see
Vinks,
how it
कौन
works
बोले
with Ganesh.
T-Bone?
I feel like
What
he's
the
fuck?
using
बे।
foot style. They're going to have to be
इसको
very
वाकले
careful
वत्सल
because the brim doesn't
सब
really
दिख रहे
अबे
हैं
वत्सल दिखा अभी
कल परसों बोलेगा ये इंडियन टूर्नामेंट ही है करके
हाँ
T1, the thing that
उधर
excites me
कोई
most
रेस
is
खेलता
the
रहेगा
Blades
लगेगा
onside
बिंक्स
player, which we've already witnessed once.
भाई एक बार बता भाई अटैकिंग में
Yeah,
इसका
and body
मॉली
problems,
उसका
right? So
मॉली
you know for
इसका
sure
मॉली
it-
उसका
it's
मॉली
unlikely
कितनी
to
मॉली
be
है
a
भाई
winner with a
चार
investment of anything
हाँ ना
crazy.
दो
Blades
किलजॉय
to
दो
try and
वाइपर
recover
अरे हो
on
गया
it.
दो ही
And
है
that was one of the
अच्छा
ways they
KO
got
हाँ
जिनका है
उधर
ना
है
Just this straight up
हाँ
aggression down B long, being able to
अरे हाँ
करेगा
ब्रिम
तो
ओ
प्लांट हुआ तो
भाई
गया
भाई गया फुट
क्या
तो
करेंगे भाई
earlier
प्लांट
around
हुआ
double doors looking for more, but Kiwis here this
हेडशॉट खाएगा
time
देख लियो
locking it down.
Quackle,
Operator
quackle.
in hand, they're wise enough to send out a Tiger first. It will meet that op shot.
That's
But
almost
now-
a direct reaction to what he did last time. Like they've seen
Like,
him
check
just
भी नहीं
burst
करते
his way
वे लोग।
through mid, so they've decided, okay, let's just put our most fearsome warrior there to hold on to those positions. Again, we're seeing this sneak up. This
Smoke
forced
डाल के
flow
updraft।
through as they attempt to pincer in, and they've now spotted Sire in mid.
Yeah, at least two players coming from mid, and well, there were two
Ayo.
coming from B long, but they've spotted them and taken them
भाई
down.
क्या कर रहे हैं भाई ये
Demolish.
बंदा
Defending.
वाइप कर रहा है वाइप
And there's,
ओह
well, even players being dropped through the smoke. This could
वो
be
लोग
when
KO देख के मालूम नहीं पड़ा क्या 3 भी है
all
What's
of their
up,
info was
previous
found in the
OP?
early round.
What is
Foot
up?
knew exactly
भूख
what
लग
was
रहा है।
happening,
खाना
and
खाओ।
their response was perfect. Seeing the majority of the forces coming through double doors, so they look for the fight on
full
B
chill
long,
mode
and then they
yes
can pivot.
we are today
with ease.
prepared
So he's got to get past an alarm bot. And
how was my
Nanoswarm,
day
a turret, and a second nanoswarm. And
I
that's just
really
to
wish
get
I
to
could
the
tell
site.
you
Information to be had already. Insta
फालतू का 10
rotation.
HP का है
There's not really anywhere for him to go at this point. The main thing will just be, can he cause any extra damage? Can he maybe get a plant for the extra finances? It's
T1,
really not.
मैं
good
बिंग्स को एक
scenario.
आइडिया
In
सजेस्ट
terms
कर
of the
रहा
money
था
on the other side, a flawless
तुम सब
round
लोग
गया
एक
भाई।
टीम बनाना चाहिए और
Perfect.
टूर्नामेंट खेलना चाहिए
for the side of foot. But
अरे मैं रेडी हूँ भाई
we'll see if they're going to get it. 10 seconds left. He
अरे मैं सिर्फ लैंड
has
खेलता
to
हूँ
at this stage. Hope that he can get
उधर हार के आया
Will be the
राकाजोत
prime
के
gaming
सामने आप
flawless coming through.
कहाँ भाई
मैं देखा ट्विटर में पोस्ट किया था
After the molly, so
छी
अबे
भाई
वो
टीबोन
online था
looking at
मैं हाँ मैं वही
for
कमेंट
Foot
डाला
so
मैं आपको
far,
डिफेंड कर
it's
रहा
been
था
a
कोच
very
अबे
strong
ऑनलाइन वगैरह क्या है बे
thing
नॉर्मल
is,
है
you know, sure it's T1's map
बट
pick,
हारा तो
असली
था
मजा लैंड
push
में
up to
भाई
5 by the end of
अनडिफिटेड
this
है अब
half.
लैंड में
They've
बट
got
आप
the
हारे
right
ना, वो
squad
Red Bull
to
में आप हार गए ना?
stand tall as the
तो
series
तो
progresses.
ऑनलाइन था ना मेरे को मजा नहीं आता ऑनलाइन
Ultis are looking pretty good for the foot side though. Blade Storm
Yeah.
locked down. The Viper's Pit to work with as well as Orbital Strike. I mean, they've got a bunch to fight for.
एक
And
ही
this is
बंदा
T1's
संभाल
fire.
रहा है भाई बी
Don't want to leave anything on the table.
I like this.
हाँ
T1
क्योंकि
क्या
कुछ
है
कर
भाई
नहीं
तो?
सकता इसका काम ही यही है टाइम बाय करो करके
Ace hits, sending in Sire player as that initial fight, the reckoning online. They've been farming
अरे?
orbs throughout the
तो
game
तब
to
से
get
only
this
भी
all
hit कर
online
रहे हैं ना?
just because of the space. it
उनका
builds
कॉम
up.
बी
They've got to
फेवर्ड
be careful
बी
though,
फेवर्ड कॉम पे
because Foot have been very happy to just sit on the edge, spam
confused
through
है
so
पूरा।
much damage, and it's worked out for them again.
इधर करके
Harvey's
उधर
gonna be
उधर
caught.
करना
बाप रे क्या भसड़ है ये
इनको साइट तो मिल रहा
दो
है
किल
बट
जो अल्ट दो वाइपर अल्ट
Forward in some
And the
circles.
Viper
अबे हो गया ना अभी लाइन पे जाऊंगा ऐसा होगा अभी और क्या
FPS गया
Call this around the observer's nightmare.
Yeah.
It's just every single
Okay.
hole just being spammed into
ये राउंड
position.
जीत गए
Viper's Pit went down, but so did Mr.
भाई,
Fallen.
B
They've
side
gotta
क्या
get
है
on this
भाई
fight
ये?
pretty soon to force players out into the open, and there they are.
जीत गए
They've
राउंड
spotted the whole squad, but there's too many
No,
bodies.
they're
to
just
take
like
down.
WW
T1
and
holding strong.
trying to get kills
They've still got that utility to play.
Oh!
Just got the angle up top, the smokes.
Stick it,
holding
baby,
off
stick it,
for
baby.
just a few seconds.
Amar
Oh,
moment
Bye.
across the line. Oh, a devastating round for T1. There's a defuse right under their nose. It puts 8 rounds on the board for the side of Foot. Their defense.
भाई जेटा का नसीब ही खराब है लग रहा है गोली बार-बार खत्म हो रहा है
How
इसका
many ults we saw in that round? I think it was all of them. Like, every single ult is now gone.
तो इस साल अपकमिंग
Everybody
सीजन
invested
ऐसा खेलो कि
absolutely
मैं खुद
everything we saw.
डिप्रेशन में ना चल
Reckoning,
जाऊं
Viper's Pit, lockdown,
बैंक
trade
में
down.
स्टिंगर था क्या मिस किया उसमें
Wanted this round more
भाई
than
वेबकैम के
absolutely
थप्पड़
anything
मार
in
के
foot.
दिखाओ
They
ना
literally
थप्पड़
get it over the
मुझे
line.
इधर बोल रहे
off
5
the
किल पे
defuse
झूल रहे हो
within a
उनको पता
smoke.
नहीं कि मैं नहीं खेल रहा हूं
Look at that. So
पांच
maybe,
पार्टी
they lost a while, but 8-3. I think many expected T1, especially on their map choice, to come out swinging.
Oh, Quackle, what a shot, man.
By Kiwi to start. These rounds may have been close, but the scoreline definitely isn't.
He's been a menace with that operator early round, but hasn't needed to do a whole lot. It's players like Maj, like Ada Captain, pulling it out later on. Krax, who's been an animal for spraying people down through smokes, well, he's finally gotten a little bit of karma coming his way. Flash ready. Carpe wants to punish. They know there's a player there, and they'll catch him through the wall.
Sign
Great
the
prediction
top.
from Space. He was not able to hit the shot with the op. Too many targets. All out in the open. He's got
Wait,
let's bring you sound or what?
ready to help him. Well, his help will certainly be needed.
डिनर इधर
Mr.
बॉक्स
Fallen.
में खाऊंगा अभी
Is
उसने
he going to
पूरा
swing
फ्लैश
out
के
to
बेसिस पे
realize
किया
these
ना
players have given up the control? Yes, they've moved towards the stairs where the spike is dropped. Maj has the
Arm
cross.
versus Vishnu,
Spotted
which
both
one
on
do
the
you
way
prefer?
around, and
Personal
now they can just
preference,
hold this together, or
Like,
maybe
if you
not.
ask any
They
player, it
separated.
just- they will
Munchkin
say their
isolates.
personal
40
preference.
HP. And
It's just
full
like
whatever
Point
you
Island
wish
with
to-
some steroids.
easy clutch for Munchkin easy
अभी ऐसा बोल दिया तो गया रहा
That's moving first.
Easy.
Maj
Gaya round.
repositioning, maybe knowing that the spike is there, that he can catch a timing.
It's just all about the bait. Maybe
वो पुश कर
expecting
रहा है
मौज कर दो वाइपर भैया
उसको पता चला
to go that little bit
Oh.
further forward, hoping to find his opponent, but
Sheesh.
eventually
Yeah.
he has to make his move, has to go for this plant, and he's not going to be expecting him to
Easy
be in that
clutch
same
for Moj
position,
भैया
desperately trying to find out where Moj
लग
is
रहा है
coming from,
Munchkin
but
मार दिया
instead,
उसको
he's just wrapped
Nah,
back
nah,
into
nah,
exactly the same
Nah.
spot, then he will land the shot.
9-3
The
कर्स
only
ए स्टिल
मौज ने मेरे हिसाब से अपना स्ट्रीम देखा
from dominating
Hello,
in this
Rutansh
map is
Mehta,
the curse.
भाई 9-3 कैसे
Well,
मैप
to be
तो
honest,
इनका
it
है
depends how much you believe in it.
That is a masterclass.
Bigs
from
bhai,
Maj
foot
as
अच्छा
well,
team है.
closing out
Kings
that
by
position in the
FUT is
1v1.
dominating team
Beautifully played, and now 9-3 at the half.
वो लोग अच्छे खेलते
भाई
हैं बहुत।
Side of Foot,
T1 में तो
this
सब
couldn't have
मारते
went
हैं
much better.
कारपे के
I mean,
अलावा
hell, even some
What
of the
the
rounds
fuck?
that
ऐसे
T1
कैसे
get
बोल
off the
दिया?
back of
अरे मतलब वो
individuals.
इनिशिएटिव है ना मारने का मारने का रोल बाकी लोग का है ना
गया, मैं नहीं था इधर।
See what the desk makes of this lead.
जर्सी तो बढ़िया है
Thank
इनका
you so
कलर
much for that,
मजा
fellas.
आया।
And wow, Fut
भाई,
defied
इनका
all
stickers में घर
expectations
जाएगा।
with a hot start on
कौन सा
Pearl.
stickers?
Let's jump straight though
वो
to our
stickers सब
Horizon
है,
high
इनका या
speed
फिर
moment
पता नहीं
because
किसी।
you gotta
उनका
give it to
ही
Ada
है।
Captain. This guy has been absolutely amazing this game, and Baby Bay, I think that
T1 का,
we
T1
were
का।
talking about him
अच्छा,
before being that
sponsors का?
leader, but we're also seeing him
Mercedes
brag.
partner
T1 का ना सबसे ज्यादा
को थोड़ी
Mercedes
पैसे
partner।
देते होते हैं
Mercedes है
Obviously getting a 3K as your
एक
as the
Mercedes
motion
तो
leader is
mid
great,
serve
though, but
करते हैं
the utility to isolate the guy from backhaul and to be able to take
Bro,
this
this
fight
guy
in
is
general,
crazy
get the
premium
trade
player,
right here
man.
after.
चाइना में
It's
पता है ना
beautiful,
ईडीजी
and he wins the
लॉल का
1v1.
टूर्नामेंट जीता था टिबोन
Who better?
T1 ज्यादा
और-
लोग तो उधर ही है उनके
You know, spiritual
और
leader in
ईडीजी
the
का
game.
ओनर ने
Look at
सब
him, he's
प्लेयर्स को
hyped.
घर दे
He's
दिया
already hyped, going
T1
crazy
के
on
पास
it.
बहुत लोगों
Massive
दिख
dab
रहे
that guy
हैं
online, getting the energy up for
Namaste,
this
man.
team. But baby, we were both talking about how good T1's mid-rounding was in the pre-match here. But for T1, so much of this map was just these hard executes. It was super passive from Foot, always playing into these flood retakes. And I think it just worked so well with this Brim comp. It almost plays really similarly to the Icebox Brim comps that we used to see
Where is
last
mixed
year.
well these days?
टिपोन रुक जा सुनने दे
That is finding strength in a lot of those situations has been
Sheesh,
with
analysis.
classes of how this
हाँ,
game
Mixwell.
मिमी बराबर बोल रही है
mid-rounding.
Mix-
They never
Mixwell?
really had to do that.
Mixwell मेरे
Instead,
जैसा
it
घर
felt
में
like
बैठ के
T1
watch
was
party कर।
letting Foot play into the strengths
Okay,
of this
हार गया क्या
comp,
उसका
which
team?
was these flood retakes
हाँ,
with the
हार
brim
गया।
smokes going up and the KO flashes to get out.
Yeah, T1 didn't try to bait really much
Mixwell
of any
Heretics
utility in
के
that
लिए।
half, and it's like
Heretics,
have the
yeah,
shot,
but
you have the
they
heart to
didn't-
take all
And
these
qualify
things
नहीं हुआ
like slowly and try to bait out those brim smokes because he only has 3, right? And even the KO flashes, he only has 2 flashes and 1 knife, right? So it's like I don't know why or what, but maybe they thought they had a hard read and they got countered a bit.
And now they have this massive advantage at the half, 9-3. They converted the bonus to begin. They've looked good on pistol rounds in the half. T1 is going to have to do something huge to rally here on the defensive side, but New Pearl is quite defense-sided.
Yeah, well, let's see if 9-3 is enough and send it back to the casters.
9 rounds so far, starting this out, as we've heard. Foot in prime position to close this out. T1's map pick, though, and now they're on the defense. Side where I think they'll be a little bit more comfortable. Saya's been looking good all the way through.
Everybody finished their dinner.
There's certainly some signs of hope. The fact that so many of these rounds have come close as well. They're not down and out just yet, but they're certainly down for now.
I like that.
Starting out this pistol.
It's an insta KO nade just to try and clear that corner as they peek into mid, hoping to try and force someone out into the fight and almost bait their opponents into believing that that's the direction they've gone. In fact, instantly Carpe's going to have to use the Skydog, the Tiger, to clear out some position. The fact is, though, T1 have a great read here.
Yeah, Saya players' flank should be perfect, but it's going to take a while to come through. The players on site will have some trouble holding it down.
T1 A round hara to first map gaya guys.
Them all around the backside. Low HP though on Munchkin. He doesn't really want to fight, but it'll be forced on him anyways. Good opening for Kiwi. Just look at Saya flank. He snuck past the turret. He put his cloud burst up, and now they have no idea that he is sneaking his way. It's bought time. Given an opportunity, perhaps Kiwi can win that fight now if he wasn't crunched on.
Just a distraction.
Support here to play with.
Lineup hai kya?
To a 2v3, low HP on a lot of foot players. The spike has to be defused, and time is on their side.
यार साया ने बहुत मिस कर दिया.
Found for foot.
Bro, I like this
That might just
gameplay.
be the nail in the coffin.
तीन
for
बंदे
map number
मिलके
one
वो
for,
कर रहे
so far ahead, and even this round where there was multiple players
T1
within
मेरे
the
को
site,
एक
it
ही
just
गेम
seems
प्ले
like
पसंद
they
है वो है.
रिटेक अच्छा था रे. साया वहाँ पे मार देता था ना 2.
Maj as well,
इसलिए
just
लग
having
रहा है
an
मैच बड़ा
absolute
जल्दी जा रहा है.
star-studded performance. I believe normally playing the
मैच
Georgian
खत्म हो
also on
जाता
this
तो हम
map, his
सोच
Vipers
सकते
look
हैं.
like- or maybe just more so
20
on the
मिनट हुआ
individual
लगता है
side of
खाली
things
20
rather than
Bro, I'm telling
totally
you
off the
2-0
util.
is it.
10-3 up. Not going to be much of an
Match
investment at all.
40 को start
Marshall
हुआ.
thrown in. A chance for Saya to maybe do a little bit of damage.
कल की मैच अच्छा था क्या?
It's just going to be
कल का crazy था.
setup into B.
Now we'll see if the reward is there. A kill, just one to be found.
Oh,
to start this off.
shot
Marshall
rate.
already going to be eliminated. That is very little fight in the
DMKH
side
moment.
of T1 for this round. And at least Munchkin's able to grab another kill, make it more costly. But with 30 HP, his chances of doing that again are pretty low. And for the side of Foot, inching ever closer to victory on their opponent's map pick, you do have to wonder for Munchkin, maybe that Bulldog, it could even be worth bringing it through to the next round, but being so far behind, maybe they'll put stock in the 1v3.
Yeah, at this point, he's going to be able to buy a Vandal Phantom in the next round anyway, so might as well just throw this one in for some extra damage. Maybe try and get an AWP, but Kiwi is ready and waiting. 11-3. Foot taking this one further and further away from their opponents, and if there was going to be any fight back, Mitch, it kind of has to be now, and you know what? Good time for a pause.
Yeah. This
Should
is going to
have
be
been
another T1 timeout that's running dry on that side. Means they've got to make the comeback happen from this point forward pretty flawlessly without help from the coaching staff. Let's decide to have a word.
It's
going to be tough looking at this situation because it is definitely a series where 11-3 does not feel like a fair score line, not representing the level of fight that T1 brought to the table, but they just
भाई ये मेरे को भी हिलाने में मजा आया था टिबोन यार. बहुत मस्त चीज है वार्मर, पता है
अरे वो लेके आना था रिविंग
भाई. मैं मस्त हिलाया था
यार. लेके आना था.
लेके क्यों आना? इधर भी ऑर्डर कर सकते हैं ना, मिल ही जाएगा.
कहाँ से?
अमेज़न से.
अबे हैंड वार्मर है वो टिबोन.
तो थोड़ा ऐसा सोना थोड़ी है कि उधर ही मिलेगा कुछ.
This far ahead, it definitely makes things a little bit more interesting, seeing if they'll maybe come up against
क्या सर्च
a
करूँ?
little bit later on, but
Hand warmer.
teams coming into this tournament,
हिलाने वाला
real
चीज.
opportunity to make it top 8 at champions. I think that's something that they
बहुत
need to
हिलाने वाले आ रहा है
grasp
कोरिया
both
से.
hands for T1. Wow.
विंग्स बोला मैं
Being their
किधर
map
बोला.
choice, this being somewhere they felt would be
ज़्यादा.
a home turf versus Foot, and being smashed.
भाई मेरे को फील आ रहा है T1 कमबैक का. क्यों आ रहा है मेरे को?
With the rifles on
Hey,
board, this is
possible
where you
ही
hope
नहीं
they'll
है
step
भाई.
up.
Bro,
as well,
fucking
you know,
800
recent
rupees.
memory for T1
No,
on the
उतना
international
नहीं है.
stage. Certainly not
बड़े तो मैं
really
गोटियों पे
for
डाल.
a lot of these
मैं आपको
और
भेजता
हो
हूँ.
जाएगा.
in, but
छी
the squad that
टिबोन
beat each
छी.
of them was eliminated by them shortly
So
after.
obliterated,
Demolished, exactly. And so they're looking for
भाई ये क्या भाई आसमान से सब कुछ गिर रहा है.
the A site.
What a neat entry, bro. Jet.
Having dashed in, taken
Zero
space.
मेहनत.
Some weaknesses here. 2 pistols in play.
they Vipers pick?
The rifles taking the fight.
ये नहीं करना
नीट एग्जिट देखा, नीट एग्जिट देखा.
And this could be
बोलते
the
हैं
best
अगर.
chance for T1 so far. The only downside is that Viper's pit.
Yeah, they've actually used it, even in this scenario where
Bro, high
they're
DPI or
down
low DPI.
a
Bro,
couple of men, but
settings.
make that just one. Moz just managed to find
See.
another. The snakebite will buy some extra time. but he
Settings,
is not
what mouse you
sitting
want to
still.
play, सब
He's
personal
not
preference
moving
होता है.
all the way around. A decent
If you are
position held,
struggling
though, by
with
Carpe.
Flicking,
Waiting on
अगर
the other
आपको
side,
लगता है
trying
कि
to find an
flick
entry
करने
back
में
in, but Moz
दिक्कत हो रहा
has
है या
found him as well.
ज़्यादा
Having a lights
instantly
out
move
game
नहीं
so
कर
far.
पा रहा हूँ.
Finally, Munchkin
तो
गया 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 गया.
don't
Let's
try
go.
to increase your
only a pistol
sensitive.
in hand, but some
It just works like that.
players
Ah ये.
क्या
मैं
है
बोला था
बोनस है?
comeback.
अरे बोनस राउंड में 3 गन गया है.
ऐसा लगता है.
ऐसा क्या
अभी मेरे हिसाब से वो लोग का आत्मा क्रश हो चुके हैं फुट का. अभी हारने वाले देखना.
वो लोग तो बोलते हैं
11
गुड बोनस ब्रो, लेट्स गो नेक्स्ट.
नहीं नहीं 11-7 11-7 मिनिमम.
This time they'll come in with full rifles,
Bunks
and the real
by-
test is about to be
भाई
there.
एक राउंड जीते बस ये नहीं कर रहा था.
वो
मैंने
भी
बोला
मटका मार
क्वाकले
के जिता दिया.
That happened in every single
क्वाकले
time.
को बोला
They
क्यों
looked
रश करना था
The other thing as well
उधर.
is just you're seeing the sheer confidence that Foot have on the stage. That they have always been a team that once the momentum is rolling, they could beat anyone. They're like literally anyone. They've taken maps off Fnatic over in EMEA when they played them in one of the earlier series. So the fact that they were in a 3v5 throwing in a Viper's pit kind of proves to you that the confidence is overflowing at this stage. And now you kind of look at the buyback on the other side. Sure, you have that Blade Storm again. Carpe's weaponry a little bit lower. We'll see what Foot had to offer. A little bit of a slower
मेरे को तो
default.
लगता है ये
Lurk held by
इसका
Mr.
पर्सनल
Fallen, just
मसाजर है
watching
साया
any
प्लेयर का.
space
Yeah.
being taken by that
इसका
defensive
बॉडी
side. It
पेन
has
होता है
been.
लगता है.
Mid is where the pressure is currently.
जैसा पकड़ा है
being
माउस और
spotted
कीबोर्ड.
हाँ भाई
Mozetto
मैं
is
सोचा
definitely
बाजू
gonna
वाले का
see
हाथ है उसी का है क्या वो?
उसका ही है.
भाई टॉप फ्रैगर है और टॉप.
देख 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 कैसा पकड़ा ब्रो. बैक मर जाएगा नहीं.
ऐसा लग रहा है किसी को हक करने जा रहा है.
भाई ये क्या रिटेक प्ले है क्या इनका?
मैं सोचा बाजू वाले का ये कैमरा एंगल में बाजू वाले का हाथ लग रहा है.
हमारा उसने
पता नहीं ऐसे ही.
As they waltz their way into this site, choice of where to plant is very much theirs.
क्या है ये राउंड भी. मतलब हार्बर वॉल
They
है.
still haven't gone for the plant yet. I mean, there's a lot of time for this T1 squad to get back in here. Go for
भाई
some of those
पोस्ट प्लांट
smashes.
तक खेल ही नहीं सकते.
It's worked
आ
out,
गया, आ गया,
but
निकले.
they're going to be caught by the flash on the way through. Players spotted moving towards the elbow. That's
Bye
where
bye
T1 wanted to
बोलते.
fight for a moment, but Zed and Carp both
घर
down. Ban
बोलते.
falls too. Blade Storm blinded in the open.
हो
And
गया
that is
भाई,
only
closing
going
है.
to leave Munchkin. Had some great rounds
Oh, dude.
already, but not this time. It would be a
Walkley is
miracle
crazy,
to pull
bro.
out that 1v4. 12 on the board for Foot. And they now have 8 chances
नहीं,
to
ESL
close
Cologne. I saw
out their
ESL Cologne,
opponent's
bro.
map
Note
pick.
देना ना.
Haven
सुहास.
up
अपना
next.
मैप नहीं था ये पता.
Well, look, we got a lot of questions
What's
about
up,
Haven
Visha?
actually,
Oh my God,
but Ascent
bro.
as a
उन
closer,
लोगों के Discord
that's a
पे
turkey.
मैं
T1 ने एक्चुअली माइंड गेम्स खेला.
और
अरे easy है रे.
A1 एक्चुअली T1 का मैप है. वो लोग ने मजबूर किया.
नहीं ये एक्चुअली मैप इनका ही है.
नहीं नहीं बिंग्स तो कवर अप कर रहा है. नहीं नहीं कोई नहीं.
और मैं बोल रहा
भाई
हूँ
चटको दो बैंगलोर का टॉप नॉच एनालिसिस्ट है इधर.
Yes. अरे मैं
लास्ट गेम 4 किल पे था. बहुत सही
Incredibly
था.
close ones
टिबन
at
भाई
that.
मैं अभी भी प्लेयर हूँ. एनालिस्ट नहीं
अब
बना.
ले रहे हो क्या?
12 to 4.
इसको डर लग हेलो
मैं प्लेयर हूँ.
With a lockdown and a judge. The rest of the team nowhere to be seen. In fact, Saya's gone all the way up mid, but he's
बच्चा
gonna
why
need
did
help
you
in
come
this round.
SC12 best bro tell me.
मैं पूरा सैड था
About
कोरिया
to
से
take a
आके.
while to come through.
हम
Player
भी तो
like
sad है
Munchkin
भाई.
may be able to find value if someone from Foot overextends.
बाप रे सेक्सी.
Lateral?
What a
Sexy,
sexy.
sexy था.
What a
Sexy था.
sexy false prediction. 12 क्या 7 था 11-7.
ये देख कम बैक बेबी. ये देख ये देख ये देख.
पूरा डब्बा डाल.
मेरे प्रेडिक्शन तो कोई कुछ नहीं बोलेगा.
Can FS take a map from Ichi?
The way back through for T1, but the man advantage to work with as well.
देख देख देख.
देख ही रहा हूँ. देख ही रहा हूँ. देख ही रहा हूँ.
What the fuck?
foot
Did he just
with
kill 3
13-4. Their opening
घर
map
पे
in Los Angeles could not have gone much better. If this is a
ये
sign of
कैप्टन भाई
what's to
हमारा
come,
फॉक्स जैसा नहीं दिख रहा
a
है
pretty quick series.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I came into
देखना
looking at the first couple of days.
टिबोन मेरी बात सुन भोसड़ी के इंडियन टूर्नामेंट ही हो रहा है बाकले भी बैठा है वत्सल भी बैठा है फॉक्स भी बैठा है कोच पूरा इंडियन टूर्नामेंट हो रहा है पूरा वॉच पार्टी इंडियन हो रहा है ये इंडिया में चल रहा है बाजू में टूर्नामेंट चल रहा है बैंगलोर में ही है
Let's just put it this way, one team
बिग सर्च के पता है आज एक गेम खेल रहे थे हम ठीक है और हमारा प्लान था कि पिंकी और अंकी फुल एक्सेंट में बात करेंगे रैंडम के साथ ठीक है पूरा पिंकी पूरा एक्सेंट चालू है अंकी का भी पूरा हम तो डिस्कॉर्ड में ही थे ना वॉइस ऑन हुआ ठीक है अरे मेरे को कोई ड्रॉप
कौन बोला अंकी
पिंकी उनको समझ में अरे तो आशीष है रे बाबा
their opponent's pick of Haven.
इतना एक्सेंट मारने के बाद गलती से उसका माइक ऑफ
There's going to be a lot of notes given from the coaching staff. And to be honest, you know, some of these rounds were incredibly close, like we said, but
it started that way in some of the
Good night,
earlier,
game के बाद
there
good
was a
night.
back and forth. It seems like all of the clutches were going Foot's way, other than like maybe a blade storm coming out from Saya.
चलो next game.
Either way, I think we're going to be throwing this one off to the break. We'll be back.
No, at least 30 plus.
अरे
12 40 को
के लिए बोलना पड़ता है ना
When you play an actual ranked game, it's 50 minutes, but how much are you actually shooting? With AimLabs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. For the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With AimLabs' new one-to-one Valorant maps, you get instant feedback on how to get better crosshair placement, better peak efficiency. You can also instantly modify existing tasks with Discovery. Get started today by downloading AimLabs for free and join millions of other satisfied players.
Red Bull gives you wings.
सुनो अभी जीतेगा T1 फिर जीतेगा EG फिर जीतेगा DRX
भाई आप
रॉसी तेरा
गेम और
अभी भी कैसा लगता है T1 जीत सकता है मेरे को समझ नहीं प्रोसेस हो रहा है
जैसा पहला मैप हारने के बाद भी लगता था कि जीत सकता है वैसा ही
जस्ट सेइंग मैंने सुना रॉसी भाई आपने कल बोला था कि रॉसी भाई क्या ये सच है आपने बोला था कि TL20 कल बोला था आपने सच्ची में
मैं
बोलना
उल्टा हो गया
बोलना
अरे वो नशेड़ी लोग ना T1 5-1 अब थे ठीक है मैं तभी बोला उसके बाद हार गए चोमो लोग
क्योंकि मेरा प्रेडिक्शन था रॉसी मेरा प्रेडिक्शन
चोमो लोग है वो हारे हाँ आज का प्रेडिक्शन है फुट 2-0 EG 2-0 DRX 2-0
क्या EG 2-0 FPX है भाई
मेरे को FPS अलग है PRX अलग है DRX अलग है टिबोन तेरे से प्रोसेस नहीं होएगा
FPX रे बाबा
FPX कैसे जीतेगा EG में नो वे ब्रो
टिबोन दो प्लेयर का नाम बता दो बस FPX
दो हाँ
किसका
FPX का दो
उधर साइड में गूगल
ये जो FPS टीम
ऑलरेडी गूगल कर
जो अभी मैं देख रहा हूँ ये
जो देख रहा है जो जस्ट नेक्स्ट है जो
गूगल कर
अबे मतलब जो नेक्स्ट गेम है वो
या फिर नहीं जो नेक्स्ट गेम है वही
ना वही जो
मेरा फेवरेट टीम है भाई FPX तुम लोग मुझे बोल रहे कि मेरे को नहीं पता
ड्यूलिस्ट कौन है उनका
निशु भाई वो उसमें ड्यूलिस्ट नहीं पता लेकिन सबसे फेवरेट मेरा बर्लिन है भाई अच्छा गेम
वो एक ही नाम है जो इजी है बोलने के लिए इसलिए बोल दिया
ब्रो टेल मी वन थिंग
वो एक ही नाम है जो आया रहेगा उसके चैट
सुनो मुझे एक बात बताओ ये जो अभी रिसेंटली क्या बोलते हैं ब्लीड जीता ना
हां असेंशन हां
these guys will next year go to franchise
हां नेक्स्ट ईयर खेलेंगे वो लोग
इस साल के ऑफ सीजन
2 years वो लोग कंटिन्यूअसली खेलेंगे
इस
नेक्स्ट
साल ऑफ सीजन क्यों खेलेंगे वो लोग? ऑलरेडी फ्रेंचाइज में गए ना वो लोग।
ऑफ सीजन सब लोग खेलेंगे भाई।
क्या बात कर रहा है? खेल रहा है क्या?
हाँ ऑफ सीजन सब टीम्स खेलेंगे।
तो उसमें जीतेगा तो क्या मिलेगा?
पैसा मिलेगा।
पैसे के लिए बिग के टीम।
अरे क्या होगा तो
और कैसे चलते हैं घर?
पिछले कोई तो
घर जाएगा
यार मतलब बाकी टूर्नामेंट से ये क्वालिफाई फिर एक बड़ा टूर्नामेंट फिर वो क्वालिफाई फिर बड़ा टूर्नामेंट वैसा कुछ है?
नहीं ये हुआ था ना जी हैदराबाद में जीएक्सआर हुआ था ना ऐसा ही बहुत कुछ इवेंट्स होगा सब जगह।
इसका पेंटा का हुआ था ऑफ सीजन।
तो ऑफ सीजन में लाइनअप क्या है तेरा?
पता नहीं मेरे को क्या पता।
हां सब इधर ही पूछ ले
तो
चलो बिंग्स भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ बिंग्स भाई खेलते ऑफ सीजन मैं आप टीबोन और 2 लोग।
सॉरी लैन है तो बुला वरना नहीं
फाटू नहीं प्लीज फाटू नहीं
फाटू भाई 10:30 बजे टूर्नामेंट ही खत्म हो जाएगा।
टूर्नामेंट के बीच में वो टेक्निकल पॉज वो लेगा टाइम आउट।
अरे एक स्लॉट दे दे यार फाटू भाई। अरे कोई दिक्कत नहीं मैं जा रहा हूं
और चले भी गए।
कल का देखा नहीं क्या उसका वॉच पार्टी?
क्या हुआ?
मेरे इसमें आया था फाटू स्लीपिंग बेंच मैं क्या करूं?
Yani biz EMEA'dayken kompları rakibe göre sadece bir Navi'ye göre değiştirmiştik açıkçası. Ama çok kolay okunabilir mi? Yani aynı kompla başka taktikler de
T1 भाई वो गाली दे रहा है आपको इंटरव्यू में।
Bu soruya tam olarak
गाली दे रहा
evet
है।
veya hayır diyemem ama sadece EMEA zamanında sadece Navi'ye karşı komp değiştirmiştik. Onun haricinde hiçbir takıma biz ekstradan komp değiştirmedik. Ve T1'da ekstradan bir komp değiştirmediği için nasıl duygular içinde olduğunu anlayabiliyorum ve her zaman aynı kompla çok daha fazla şey çıkabiliyor ortaya.
We haven't changed our compositions that much throughout the year. We had changed it against Navi during EMEA. And in terms of like answering your question, I cannot give a definitive answer because sometimes you can just employ different tactics using the same comp. So I can say that I can feel exactly. I know.
जल्दी वहाँ से हटो माइक लेके तोहर। जल्दी वहाँ से हटो माइक लेके तोहर। रसी भाई जिम ज्वाइन कर लो थोड़ा बॉडी बना लो मस्त। नहीं ब्रो मेरे को इंटरेस्ट नहीं है ऐसा बॉडी बनाने से। जो भगवान ने दिया है वही है बस। बॉडी बनाओ फिर से कंटिन्यूअस जिम जाओ वरना वो जो बॉडी बनाए वो बस चले जाएगा।
Dude, I'm having a good time. Why are you having a good time? But one, they only got one international win. But the series is over, dude. It's done.
You're calling the series right now.
Good at Vandan.
Right? Like it's a party. We should be celebrating. This is a big moment for FUT.
अच्छा आपका लोकेशन आप रहते हो उधर कहाँ?
That was actually not planned. I should put this pen away before I lose that like a clown. My clown.
कल वाला मैच भी अच्छा है।
You know what? Crowd, have fun with it. Go nuts. That's for you.
Believers?
That's for you. Go nuts. What's the worst that could happen, right? Anyway, guys, let's go ahead. No, I think that's how T1 was feeling going into this
seriously,
one.
Like FUT just dominated them. They've got a shark out on stage. FUT has never had more fun. They're already celebrating too.
Start kro.
I am perplexed as to like when you look at the
गलती हो गया mental health भी अच्छा होगा बस
body played out, baby. You wouldn't necessarily have thought that it would work out the way that it did.
कृष्ण ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया रॉसी भाई।
Just completely dismantled T1. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card.
So okay, bro.
No, definitely. I think that T1
Crushy
could have played more into FUT's
एक और
hands.
कुछ बना लो।
I actually think the entire way they approach this whole
and how so?
Well, just trying to rush into sites against a comp that is meant to like have heavy retakes and heavy floods, you know? Like they didn't try to like work the map in certain ways. The one round they did came down to a 1v3 at a Kaplan, and like, you know, like that was the best chance they had in the round. So.
And one of the other reasons that's so rough to not be playing the mid-round is because you look at this comp. Normally you have Sky that's regenerating. You have Harbor who has a regenerating wall. With KO, you only have 2 flashes that are never coming back. With Brim, you only have 3 smokes that are never coming back. So you need to take your time on the attack to bait out that utility, or you're just going to be running into the strengths of your opponent's composition. And that's exactly what happened to T1.
Yeah, that's rough as well, right? Because you see the composition that T1 busted out and you think this is going to be fine, you know, this is like the bog standard of what we've seen on Pearl, and then to just get shut down the way that they did, and it wasn't even, I mean, yes,
What's
of course,
up, Divakar bro?
problem, but also
Arama, Bengaluru in the world
they
of
were hitting those shots. Speaking of hitting shots, that actually takes us right over to our aim lab shoot around. Look at that transition as we go to Mr. Fallen's POV. But let's just continue though, maybe to talk a bit more about what we've seen from Foot, because it really was a dismantling, and now you have to ask yourself, how does this T1 team get back into it? But more importantly, how does Foot prevent that from happening? Because it really feels like they're riding a high.
Nearly there,
I think Foot's just like I think they're actually gonna take it from here, because I think that they're just flowing so well right now. Like everybody across the board is popping off. You had Kiwi just dashing into people because he's really feeling it now. You know, you had Captain just going brazy on the retakes, and then
Maj had like what, 30 clutches.
The Viper he clutched like 4 times.
It was ridiculous what he managed to pull off. So many of these players just seemed confident, comfortable. And Tom was talking about this right at the end of the cast, but Foot is a team that in the past have struggled with mental issues, with it going down and not really being able to get that energy. But when this team starts strong, when they get that momentum, it is so incredibly hard to shut them down. So T1 are really going to have a big task on map 2.
Yeah, they definitely are here as we get ready for this upcoming map. We're going to be moving on to
T1.
You know, I guess looking at this one here, this is a great opportunity now, Mimi, for this team to be able to close this one out. And
मैं सच बोला इसलिए मैं गया.
10:30 बजे कोरियन लैंग्वेज में डाला.
So not a huge surprise in the prime game.
Hey bro, how was life in Korea? Tell no.
Really well. The main thing
मेरे को तो बोरिंग ही था. मैं किधर भी नहीं गया.
No, like gadgets and stuff you used to get.
Oh, gadgets कुछ नहीं लाया, but in general country तो बहुत advanced और बहुत अच्छा है.
No, like these anime pieces and all you get there.
Yeah, but I didn't buy it.
Yeah, and I thought
Experience your what?
T1
Huh?
attack on a lot
Experience your what?
advantage to them. But
I don't know, bro. I didn't even check.
I'm not confident in that anymore.
What you did in Korea then?
I just went there, played, came back.
This is a completely different
Nowhere you went outside or to see some traditional places.
Never. I went to amusement park.
Get the utility out a little bit.
Hey, वो तो इधर ही जाता भाई कब्बन पार्क.
अरे नहीं उधर लॉटेवर्ड अच्छा है. कब्बन पार्क में कौन सा
amusement park है?
अरे amusement क्या होता है?
अरे amusement park.
Amusement मतलब क्या होता है? जंगल होता है?
नहीं amusement park में amusement. वंडरलैंड
ऐसा क्या?
हाँ, ये रोलर कोस्टर, वो पानी में डुबकी मारना ये सब.
Yeah, and without a doubt, there's going to be like you know, the nerves, right? The caution that T1 had probably a bit more while they were playing certainly could maybe lead to them feeling a bit overwhelmed with the moment here. They're going to need to shut down this Foot team early.
Think of what these players have accomplished in the past. You have champions from different games. You have players who have had already storied careers here in Valorant. To go out early, to go to lower bracket in Champions, the biggest tournament, after all the improvements you've had this year, would be a massive disappointment for T1. So the pressure is on right now for them to recover in the second map.
All eyes are going to be on T1, but can Foot close it out into? Let's send it back over to Mitch and Tom for the call.
Well, it's been an incredible start to Foot's run here in Los Angeles.
जीत गया. ये गया. स्टन हो गया. डैश खत्म ब्लाइंड.
Kicking off this map, it's just the same.
Dead by T1. मार. आइए.
अरे ये क्या कॉम्प है इनका? Gecko और Breach.
Seen Gecko quite a bit. It hasn't been something to
It's a
write
good
home
combo,
about for
dude.
the side of Foot so far.
I don't even know if he'll use any of it.
Oh, what a
land the shots.
भाई अगर ये पीक किया ना ये बहुत गलती कर. भाई क्यों करनी है पीक? मेरे को बात बताओ.
Clutches in the last map. Well,
Bunks
they're
bhai.
back in 1v2.
Bro, he could have done a lot of stuff.
I believe from the last map they had some like
Bunks bhai.
80+% 4v5
Bunks bhai, आप ना jinxer हो, jinxer.
Hello. What this team is able to do. And right off the bat, that confidence is off the charts. Now, one of the things is, I agree with the desk.
क्या हो गया था? डोर पे कोई आया था.
Of this composition of Gecko.
हाँ, डोर पे T1 लोग आए थे उधर हार के.
Language.
Then they tried to bring it to the international stage. And they got bullied, like even losing to attacking Soul, which
मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Foot ना actually strong है.
See if they
तो
have
chance
managed
नहीं.
to adapt, find anything new. But I'll be honest, at the moment,
hasn't really looked like they've
Force करना
needed
चाहता
to
पता
throw in anything new versus the side of T1. They have been able to win out a lot of these gunfights just off individual brilliance.
Very much so. The clutches. Look, if they're going to continue,
मेरे को एक one tap दिख रहा है.
then yeah, you can write this series off. T1.
जैसा आपको first round दिखा.
Gotta start to feel deflated. 4 rounds so far in the series. We move on to the second here, and it's a decent bit of fighting potential. Four sheriffs on the side of T1. They're already getting up close, looking for some opportunities. Found some, not converted. And shot after shot landing for Kiwi.
ऐसा लग रहा है कि आ रहे हैं पूरा SkRossi में से. आ रहा.
2 seconds तो आ जाओ. Interesting that you have even flank attempts coming through. This isn't the kind of round where I'd expect players to try to get behind with weapons like a bulldog, but it will pay off.
Yeah, no, they don't even take any damage throughout the entirety of this round. Very clean from the side of
chat में कोई बोल रहा है.
The last couple of times T1 played this map, it was versus EDG.
क्या?
They definitely struggled to pin down the likes of Can.
एक दिन भी इसने सही prediction नहीं दिया.
एक दिन मैं भी नहीं देखा.
एक दिन भी नहीं.
एक round भी नहीं.
This is an important round.
भाई ये round T1 का है. बाद में तुम लोग बोलोगे good bonus करके देखना.
अरे हाँ, क्योंकि bonus ही है. देखो 2 bulldog, एक marshal, 2 spectre.
Part से headshot देखना.
But मेरे को लग रहा है ये round भी हार जाएंगे.
ये round भी हार गए ना, Bings भाई.
Foot really like to go for those spams.
Oh bro, this guy is crosser, you saw? Dynamic.
And yeah, some decent damage starting it off.
How do you even control this thing?
Next to no shields. It's only a little tickle. The third round sees T1 play it slow, waiting for that aggression to come out from Foot, waiting for Maj perhaps to go walkabouts on middle, like we saw towards the end of the previous round. But as we said, this is a squad that, despite many conversations around their fundamentals previously, I think their discipline has improved a lot. I mean,
since the early days, definitely.
Yeah, right?
Go back to the VLRs, yeah, definitely.
It's a much better face to this squad.
Well, a minute gone. A bit less to play, but this is where the execution's going to come through again. Saya leading the
ये
charge.
देखना, ये होता है Saya.
Unable to do too much, but his teammates
ये होता है entry. 4 जन के stack में.
Observer जिसको भी दिखाया वो सब मर गए.
Relatively clean. And the only interesting really thing when we talk about compositions for these two teams, it's not so much about
भाई execute देखने में अलग ही मजा आता है लेकिन.
Watching the switch up of Ada Captain taking over that controller. The same for Carpe, taking over Sentinel. Slight role switches, but nothing different in terms of what agents are actually being run. For now, Kiwi, anything he can do would be nice, but Carpe is going to land that shot and a much cleaner start to this second map for T1 as they will get themselves around with 4 players alive.
Yeah, we're still seeing the same thing. We heard from Baby Bay over on the desk that, this squad of T1, playing into Foot's hands a little bit, just all-out aggression, bursting their way into sites, and the composition previously ran. Foot were able to respond every single time, and then adding in the fact that this is a squad that likes to concede space and take you down with wall bangs on the way through, or even just shots through the smoke. We saw that same thing from T1 here, bursting into A, taking the control. Although on a map like Haven as well, you're certainly going to get your reward for that.
Yeah. They were a little more patient though, that's the thing. It wasn't like instant in the round. They had time for some of that utility to be burned.
Full heavy ping किया है.
Slight adaptation. This time though it is direct. Very direct indeed. The first 20 seconds of the round may have gone, but already into the site they go, and well, you mentioned smoke.
Yeah, दोनों टीम बिना देखे मार रहे.
Yeah, Maj managed to catch them on the way through. That's the problem. They knew.
और भाई लोग क्या scene?
Well, a lucky shot on the return gets them the reward. Flash for right side, but no follow-up. They're not looking to take that control, but they have spotted the operator around here.
Homie!
It's good information to play with. Crash on the way through, and it catches nobody.
भाई वो लोग को पता ही नहीं साइड के बारे में.
कुछ clear नहीं किया properly.
They are in with a serious chance now, locking these players out of control. A quick double kill. It doesn't seem to be enough. Even if that shot was connected for Kiwi, it would be a tough clutch. But with 2 opponents still standing, it's time to get out of there.
Yeah, good work from them. The ultimate as well from the side of Foot, not really placed in a position. I think the only players that actually could have caught were his own teammates if it went a little bit deeper. Opportunities to find something with that, but T1 have managed to hold on in their post plants, already looking a little bit cleaner in that regard. And for Foot in this next round, it's going to be interesting because you've got Kiwi one away for a Blade Storm. A kill for him could put him onto the board. And on the other side of things, full rifles, a decent economy already being built up. This is a chance for T1 to actually take the lead in this series.
Must need that already.
Certainly the feeling of recovery for that squad if they can make it across this line. Very weak weaponry all across the board. It's Kiwi they have to avoid. And if they can do that in the early round, then that's already half the task out of the way. Stuns, one apiece. It slowed T1 slightly, but it has ultimately denied Kiwi's opening aggression. He wanted to be here with that operator. He wanted to be taking the fight down on short. Instead, look at where Foot are forced to go. Right RB or Forsaken playing way back. Kiwi's still good for one. But again, it comes down to the weaknesses that are backing him up on this hold. Really nothing to work with, and if it's that not the operator finding the kill, the chances go way down.
Bro, what is this close game, dude?
For the next round, so was
close game ने game close हो चुका है, T1 जीत चुका है.
They've thrown in the lockdown here. Zeta trying to hold on the
Wait,
edge.
what was the percentage win rate?
I thought maybe one.
What was the percentage win rate?
He's gonna go down, but
फुट का मेरे हिसाब से 0.1 था.
अबे वो नहीं percentage win rate.
वही 0.1 फुट और 99% T1.
More importantly, I'm liking the goal of Zeta. A little bit more aggression, a little bit more up in the faces of Foot, something that I think was missing in the previous map. And well, they are going to get themselves the lead for it.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, in a round like that, you think that without the Hunter's Fury, there's nothing that Zeta can do to get value out of the lockdown, but, well,
यार अच्छा सेव किया उसने ऑपरेटर.
Last second as well to go for that spray and catches both of them. That's got to be so
वैसे भाई आपकी याद आ गई.
Because look, if it wasn't for those kills, you see the potential
there.
Salt two at the end. Could have went their way. They would have had smokes online to try and deny some of the line of sight when they go for the diffuse.
मिर्ची ज़्यादा जलता है या सॉल्ट ज़्यादा जलता है वुंड पे?
पता नहीं क्या जलता है?
Purely based on
गांड पहला जलता है वो पता है.
Multiple players, in fact the whole team setting up.
नहीं hard
where Kiwi's going to be going. He's got to get out of there very quickly. The counter Util's been good, but Saya player is going to meet those blades. I feel like this is a moment where if you're T1, you go, nah, don't really fancy heading into that site. Still looking to check if that control's been taken by their opponents, but they are now going to start feeling out the map a little bit more.
Yeah, their issue is just how little control they can actually hold on to. Not having, like, your turret even sat on middle. These players could have pushed down. They could be in the window by now, wrapping up behind. That's not even talking about the A site. You know, ultimately, when you start around like this, a minute in, your only opportunity is to go towards C.
ये reason था इसको ban लगा था.
Opportunity now is a little bit more promising. Good stun, good delay, but the follow-up.
Lucky shit right there, G.
Sure, Mr. Fallen.
भाई उसको भी मारा.
Damage is found as well, but they managed to stall out that C push. And from the shadows, used to fake out that they're taking this to A. The fake is not sold though. Foot still have two players here. One in the form of Ada Captain, the other being Cracks, and that angle is certainly held down by Cracks.
कोई ना.
For Foot to find a third.
Yeah, I feel like you could always rely on that
just
man
saying,
when it comes to
getting
a double kill. And again, I don't know how, just with the spam through the smokes, it was a stun through. I'm also just looking at Ada Captain right now with 0 kills and 11 assists. One of the most ridiculous stat lines we've had so far in this tournament. See how many that continues on to, but just really clean individual fights. And I do think that's one of the aspects of T1 that has been missing a little bit. It's very difficult versus Foot. They're extremely high when it comes to the skill ceiling, but they haven't been trading effectively and just allowing players like that to almost take over. Early stun, and Kiwi already taking that space. He's going to get one for free. No, it's actually a miss.
Well, he's got the drone at least, but not quite the same reward. Gets back in time to be caught by the Rolling Thunder. Pretty much out of this round for a few seconds, and he'll be caught by Ban, who's doubling up on the site. Mr. Fallen catches them blinded up on site before he's dropped, but they can't get ahead in the fights. It's still
Bings by Rossi और T1 का आवाज क्यों नहीं आ रहा है?
हेलो नहीं आ रहा?
क्योंकि T1 जीत रहा है, baby. Let's go.
The lead stays
मेरे
with
को लगा
T1.
सच पे नहीं आ रहे मैं हेलो हेलो बोल रहा हूँ
Such direct hits coming in from
T1 जीत गए तो मैं कभी नहीं रेटेड जाऊंगा डन से
like Kiwi was completely
आप वैसे भी नहीं जाओगे कभी
शर्म करो रोसी भाई ऐसा बैंगलोरियन यू नीड टू सपोर्ट बैंगलोरियन
अरे मैं तो आपको ठीक है हाँ
That's the thing. Like, some of these rounds
मैं जिसको मैं प्यार करता हूँ उसको झूठ नहीं बोलूंगा कभी भी
लव यू मेरे भाई
अरे वो बोल रहा है लेकिन नहीं जाओ
stop him. By the looks of things this round they're going into A in the same sort of pace.
Oh my, look how quickly the push has come through from Adacaptain. Sure, there's a fight, a brawl, in fact, going down on short, but they have full middle control as well at the same time. You know, Foot, they give it up late into the round. Probably good that they did. That lockdown could be served to fake out and rotate back across the map, but more likely just to sit in position and claim the space afterwards. Foot will be conceding it all.
Yeah, at least they didn't manage to get the thrash back, but that early usage again, just trying to deny the same sort of push that came through in the last round, and the rest of the team looking to build up in this retake. Now you have to bear in mind, in terms of utility, there's a couple of flashes. I was going to say there's no paranoia to get them back in. They don't need it. T1 went.
भाई मैं चैट से बात कर रहा था करके आ रहा T1.
Because of that, they now
आपके
find
पास
themselves in a
कितना
5v2
किताब का रीजन से वो दे दो
through
हमको
from Moj as well. Munchkin needs to pull off one of the most ridiculous clutches you ever will have seen, and they're already spamming into the smoke. They know where he is. It's all too easy.
मेरा आंसर
कोई ना भाई थोड़ा टफ होना चाहिए कंपटीशन.
मेरा क्वेश्चन का आंसर अभी तक नहीं दिया T1 क्यों जीते
It's gonna be FUT 2-0.
हाँ वो तो है
मैं तो सुबह 11 बजे तक कर रहा हूँ.
11 कितना होता है 11 12 11 11 o'clock.
Yeah, a much better start than what we'd seen previously, and they're going to go for a timeout to attempt to recover on what has been a shake.
मैं भी करूँगा बिग्स भाई ऑन करके सो जाऊँगा.
That retake in particular, I think, will have them shaking a little bit because they got.
भाई लास्ट 12 घंटे से स्ट्रीम
भाई टिल्ट हो गया पता है.
Yeah, I think one of the things they're sort of struggling
T1
with is
भाई आजकल 12 घंटे नॉर्मल है.
शेड्यूल बैटल करे.
क्या है शेड्यूल बैटल? ये जरा शेड्यूल क्या है अभी बिग्स बता.
मेरा कल क्या मैंने किया पता है. कल मैंने पहले दोपहर को लोको किया बराबर. फिर शाम को मैंने वाइटी किया. फिर रात से एकदम सुबह तक 7 बजे तक मैंने वॉच पार्टी किया. फिर वॉच पार्टी के बाद मैं सो के उठा. वॉच पार्टी खत्म हो गया 7 7:30 बजे. सुबह 8:30 बजे सोया. 12:30 बजे उठा 4 घंटे का. फिर मैं शूट के लिए निकला. बूट कैंप शूट से आया. हाँ फिर मैं शूट से आया शाम को 6 बजे.
तो आज लोगों ने किया
नहीं आज लोग को दूसरा वाइट कुछ नहीं किया. इसलिए आज मैं फुल वॉच पार्टी कर रहा हूँ सुबह के 11 बजे.
शीश हार्ड वर्क बोलते
नहीं कल नहीं.
अभी 4 दिन के लिए नहीं 1 महीने तो चलेगा ना ये टूर्नामेंट.
26 तक कर रहा हूँ.
26 तक चलेगा तो
ये 26 तक है क्या टूर्नामेंट.
हाँ मतलब बीच में गैप्स रहेगा. लव यू क्यों है तो रात चलता है पूरा.
ब्रो आई एम गोइंग तिरुपति. ये
कभी जा रहा है.
बेटा climbing mountains T1.
No bro.
भाई bro climb mountain no God will give you extra
mother is there where mountain is.
भाई ये लोग में हर चीज का लाइनअप है क्या भाई. हेलो
अबे नॉर्मल लाइनअप है. ओह what a shot.
Moj deleting Carpe. And that puts them in a bit of a rough spot.
They're
not there, and well, they're flying wide open.
Gun में भी ऐसे ही मारेंगे.
There's a reason the Turkish players only play the Vandal. It's normally because of the.
तो भाई मस्त स्नैक्स खाते सोने वाले आपने को स्लीपिंग स्ट्रीम मिलने वाला.
Now they are going to have themselves an after plan here. The turret destroyed for
दिक्कत ये है कि मॉम को पता नहीं चलेगा मैं स्ट्रीम कर रहा हूँ. तो मॉम तो 6 बजे उठता है. ओ तो मॉम
Zeta could be in trouble here.
पता नहीं.
Currently using his Tronica's jumping back and spots half of the team. The stun has caught him as well. There is no chance for him to survive this one. And in fact, at a captain, well, he may be getting assists, but he can also frag in his own right as well. A clean push back through into this round for Foot. They're going to regain the lead for themselves once again.
Well, at a captain, he's just tripled his kills on that one.
Yeah, not bad.
Like to see it. 5 rounds on the board. Lead theirs. And T1, they're having a lot of success getting onto the site. I think that's what we've seen certainly over on C in taking that control. The A site as well, just a few rounds ago, they burst through with relative ease. But the same as what we'd seen.
भाई इतना close कैसे जा रहा है game?
Foot are playing those retakes when they're making that decision ahead.
इनका comp ही ऐसा ही है Gecko और
Are you eating something?
Yes, Esrobele.
It's never recommended to have anything after 9.
Like a bit more
Why?
of a default for the side of
It creates a
T1.
gluconides.
Go very aggressively
वो क्या होता है?
direct into sites and
मैंने कल रात को बर्गर खाया था 4 बजे.
क्या बोलते हैं उसको ग्लूकोसाइड्स? क्या बोलते हैं?
Glucosides?
अरे
को
कुछ तो
30-40
है
fight पता है.
ये T1 जीता. ये राउंड T1 का है.
spot out some of these early fights.
Jinx भैया आप.
नहीं ये कंफर्म T1 का है.
He's already going to have to use a little bit of that utility.
Binks अगर T1 हारेगा 2-0 आपका नाम है Jinx. सही है?
With how many kills Cracks has been able to get.
भाई ये गेको का अल्टी एकदम फास्ट ड्रोन जैसे यूज कर रहा है सिर्फ.
हाँ इन्फॉर्मेशन लेगा.
And now T1 they
इसके
start
बाद सेव
building
करेगा.
to this site once again, but
वो
they
बड़ी इसको बड़ी ब्रिज को
Nice shot on the Munchkin already. He's in danger.
ब्रिज भी लाइक मैं bro his armor is gone.
Going for that orb.
इनको C जाना पड़ेगा एक्चुअली. A पे गए तो गए.
ए जाएंगे बाप के.
हाँ बट इन्फो मिल जाएगा उनको इजीली और स्टैक करेंगे वो लोग अभी.
लेकिन ओमेन मारेगा.
I don't think so. ये गए तो हार गए.
गया ओमेन.
राउंड गए ओमन का पता नहीं.
लेट्स गो.
Bro this crosser is over.
आइए यहाँ पे ट्रेड किधर है?
ट्रेड आ रहा है ट्रेड.
Bro this guy is one of the best controllers so far.
3 किल मार दिया वो देख के T1 में.
भाई माको सबसे बेस्ट है भाई.
माको बेस्ट कंट्रोलर.
माको बेस्ट है लेकिन
माको
Bro what you're saying bro? King is not best or?
माको on top.
माको consistently from 3 years.
I have never seen King bottom fragging dude with controller.
बॉटम फ्रैगिंग का नहीं, जो चीज माको करता है ना कोई नहीं करता.
You just got the individual
Where is
players.
the King
You
अच्छा
had
है.
that lurk from Ban, giving them the space onto short, but they were completely unaware of other
भाई
control.
King तो IGL भी है.
When all the information gets spotted,
King
and a captain
controller
on his
खेलता है
own
क्या? मेरे को
just
तो नहीं
walks
लगता.
into the site. The
भाई
rest of the team
Viper
tried to
खेलता है
use
King,
utils
Breach,
to set him
Viper
up, but
वगैरह.
honestly, he didn't need it. It just
तो
went
controller player नहीं है, वो
completely
flex है.
unchecked. It was like T1 in their mind went,
Okay.
okay, we have solved this fake. They're going to be
Controller
on
है,
C.
ज़्यादा
There's no
Viper
way
खेलता
there's
है.
anybody in the corner, and that's mistakes you can't afford to give because we've already
So
seen
I
Let's
still
get
remember
so far, the
dude
players on
King
foot,
जब वो
each
clutch
in
करके
their own
ऐसे
right,
बैठा था.
will destroy you
बैठा
if
था,
they
उठा
give them
था.
a moment's notice.
उठा
Back
नहीं, उठा
to the
था.
pacey rounds, rolling thunder
Lock in
again.
में
This
ना?
is where they had one of their successful
Oh
rounds.
my-
This time though,
This
Moj is
thing
out.
ऐसा हो
And
गया.
Kiwi, wow,
भाई ये क्या स्मोक है ओमेन का?
मिस कर दिया.
Cover तो है.
अरे
अरे क्या इतना बड़ा गैप है?
That makes a lot of sense. Alright, Kiwi over the rifle. You know he's going to be used to claim some space in the way through. Stun held.
Aftershock, nice.
At least one with that. Aftershock for down below.
दिल से बुरा लगा भाई.
In the turret.
Oh, Saya.
In the drone, I should say. Saya
Bro,
players
why
go for a
would he
double before being
drone
shut
like
down. The
that,
operator
dude?
doing a hell of a lot
भाई
of
वो
heavy lifting
एक
on the way
स्मोक की
back
वजह से हुआ यार.
to A, and
No,
another
why would he drone like
successful
that,
retake
dude?
For the side of foot. T1 starting to slip up,
इतने खुले
losing
में
their
उसको
lead.
पता है heaven से
I also
पड़ेगी.
think Foot are actually
7-5.
improving the way they're playing this.
7-5 फिर पिस्तौल जीतेगा.
8-4 भाई.
7-5 baby.
Rolling Thunder was on
8-4,
right. They were being caught by it, and then players were going down. Instead, they fall back.
इतना लंबा
Moj just gets
gap
out of there
दिए.
immediately and just lets
अरे,
Kiwi
सोहा
find
क्या
that
कर रहा है?
opening kill.
वही
You're going
तो.
into the same retake that you were already winning with an extra player on the side.
Bro,
So
that
if
crosser
Foot
is
are
one of the
improving
worst
things as they
crosser
go
you know
along,
Cockle is using.
T1 need to find something here.
छोटा
They've
वाला,
lost
blue
the
color.
last 5
Bro, I
6
hate
rounds. They're
that
looking
dude.
in
The
a good
dynamic
spot,
thing is
sitting
there
at
now.
4-3 up, and now
वो
Bladestorm.
कभी-कभी
T1
लगता
भाई,
है
what is
वरना
your
लगता
crosser?
ही नहीं. My crosser I am back to T1.
7-5 हो गया. हेलो रिफ्रेश करो तुम लोग पीछे हो. 7-5 हो गया.
Bladestorm
नहीं,
online.
आगे
So
8-4 है.
players very dangerous with
ये
this.
किधर मार रहा है भाई प्लेट?
2-0 भी
Blade
देखे.
around the corner. He's on his way through. Stun caught. He's up top, safe for a moment, allowed to recover. Will he be
ये
हाँ बे.
रिफ्रेश करो भाई, रिफ्रेश करो.
The site seems to be
Brain
there.
refresh
That
करना
judge
पड़ेगा
could be
first
quite
अब.
scary as exactly for that reason.
No,
It's up close. It's able to spam
बहुत
the
difficult
smoke.
है.
भाई क्या मारा रे ब्रिज को.
Bladestorm still to fall back
बहुत
on.
difficult है
This could be a
retake.
tough
Possible
fight
ही नहीं
for
है.
Kiwi.
Cop
I almost feel like at this stage
हो गया
someone has
भाई,
to
यही
make a
मारेगा.
mistake.
नाइस सुरेश
भाई ब्रीज को क्या मारा यार
Somehow in this 2v5 scenario it's beginning to look competitive with an isolated player within the smoke. Munchkin has a chance to put this one to bed as Mr. Fallen is now all that remains. The other two players and T1 will
अभी पिस्तौल अपना है
at the hands of Munchkin. It's definitely not the prettiest half they could have come out with, but it might just be enough.
Yeah, the numbers on the board certainly enough for T1 at this point. I don't think they.
भाई गेको टॉप फ्रैग लेना पड़ेगा गेको लगता है.
This was Foot's map pick, so that was the half they wanted to start on for the side of T1, already out of the way. And with the context of how it began, maybe they wanted that little bit more. At the end of the day, though, there's some serious signs of life on that Foot side. They've come in on the international stage. They want to take a couple dubs home this time. An impressive beginning. 7-5 at the half and a third map needed for Foot, or for T1 to take this all the way. Let's see what the desk makes of their chances.
Indeed, indeed, and now we're all curious whether or not T1 has it in them to be able to bring this back, force that map 3. But let's jump into this real fast because it did feel like T1, Baby Bay, were starting to recognize some of the faults in the situations that they found themselves in, but the consistency, it's not quite there yet, and that's not what I had expected here at Champions for T1.
Yeah, like from the first gun round, I was like so surprised. I was like, wait, like they're actually waiting and letting Foot flood in, and they like realized it. I'm like, oh yeah, like they realized it, that they're flooding in, and they can actually just punish them for free. And then later in the half, they just revert back to like cutting these corners and not waiting for that flood. And you have Captain just going in and just killing 3 people, like just sliding in the sights. Like we cannot be cutting these corners, and we have to be aware that Foot is a team that likes to flood. Their retakes are awesome. So. Like I mean, they at least they made the adaptation a little bit. But
bro, सच्ची बोलो बहुत कम हो गया इनके attacking में score.
And Foot on the other hand were really good to adapt to that.
इनको हाँ 5 कम ही है इवन
तो round अगर जीत गए ना FPT जीत
into these set retakes, which work really well when you're combining the flash or the stun with that Gecko Dizzy, and they've gotten themselves a really strong half here. 5 rounds on defense is great at least, and they've got even more than that. And for Krax, he was again the player taking charge. He was the star on Pearl, and here playing the Gecko as well, he's still looking so comfortable. I was impressed mostly at how well they were able to give areas of the map and re-clear with Krax's util.
Yeah, that is most definitely a thing that, you know, again, you want to see this kind of player, right, pop off in these moments like this and to be so consistent. Do it not just on the different Asian on
भाई क्या पिस्तौल निकाला भाई T1 ने.
Shows how much work this team has put in. Let's send it back over to the casters.
कौन सा वेबसाइट में देख रहे हो आप?
Thank you so much, Golden Boy and the desk. Yes, half 2 is ready to kick off. Just a few seconds until the barriers go up and T1's defensive side gets put to the test. Now this is certainly not the most difficult, right? They're only 2 behind, but the pistol round I think carries a fair bit of weight in this game.
Yeah, it's definitely not been their strong suit so far, and although they may be Gecko runners themselves, they definitely don't run it on this map, so it's going to be something that they have to be prepared to adapt to. Those flashes, we've definitely seen players stare right into the eye of a Dizzy a couple of times. Counter stuns.
Oh, उसको check नहीं किया?
Trying to help out Carpe, but already being spotted by the wingman. He is going to have to fade off of this one. B site looks to be the point of call for
T1 को जीतना चाहिए actually
round. Util and a contact player.
By sexy defense यार T1, sexy defense.
On the entry here.
उनको जीतना चाहिए actually around T1 को.
Kiwi's got some control. A player spotted as well. He'll look for the fire, and that's an execution.
Beautiful paranoia.
Munchkin down immediately. The paranoia even stopped the players further back from peeking out to
Easy
help.
win pistol
Ready to swing. Carpe and Ban, and both have been found by Kiwi. They didn't take the fight earlier, and they were forced into it later. This is looking rough.
आप पे देख रहे हो आप
मसाला चाहिए
sexy defense different version in Washi or what
at this point, and once they catch out
अरे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ
well, we won't
क्या
even talk about
बात
that because it's an ace kicking off.
यार कोई बोलेगा T1 को ये उनकी गलती नहीं है.
जिंक्स पे आपका ही गलती है. अरे मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कल जो चाय मंगाया था मसाला चाय था
हाँ मसाला चाय
मत करो भाई फूड की बातें मत करो लव यू
डाइट पे हो टीबो
डाइट ब्रो
मसाला चाय में 2 शक्कर डाला था मैंने 2
After that,
player I think was split second away from
intermediate fasting till 11 o'clock.
मैं देखा ट्विटर पे देखा मैं कुछ तो
देखा
That was just a beautiful round.
मैं आपको पूरा फॉलो करता हूँ अब जो भी डालते हो पहला मैं ही देखता हूँ फर्स्ट लाइक
love you हो गया यार guys clip करो हो गया why bit T-Bone baby
why bit T-Bone
can we see some sort of response? Well, there's definitely no fear here, but there is an alarm bot waiting. That's going to be destroyed. That gives Anna Captain a chance to protect. Okay, that was very optimistic from Zeta that there would be no one there, and they're still trying to find him. Anna Captain just lurking around the back lines.
भाई क्या हो गया स्पेस बार बटन सब क्यों दबा रहे हैं
खोलो बिंग्स भाई
चड्डी खोलो
Good luck to ban and get more than this. Already spotted out and dealt with. Spidey sense is good for Ada Captain, and 9 rounds found. The lead extending further and further in their favor, and for T1, I do think that this is where they need to put a stop to it right about now, because one more loss here, push down to an eco, and Foot are knocking
they can't lose
on the home stretch. Yeah, very much so.
That's the thing, we're falling into the same position as last match.
Surprise,
the early rounds looking so good
bro.
for Foot and keeping them nice and clean.
What
They're going to come
he
in
might
with
have
a
done.
rifle. Kiwi only 2 away from getting that Blade Storm as well after farming up an ace in that prior round. And already they're going to take a lot of initial space.
What is that, Omen?
Seems to be their
Oh,
sexy util baby.
How aggressive he is!
Bro, wait, what?
Sheesh, ये तो bonus round है.
Decimating the side of T1. This was the round that they
Bro,
desperately
wait, I
needed
am
to
a little
win.
bit confused.
He's just
Where did he flash?
with ease.
Omen.
Looked like an eco top.
A-shot.
They've got rifles on the other side. They were ready, watching for that push
Yeah,
through.
I don't know. वो short वाला बंदा blind
Looked
हुआ.
like it. At this point, I'm looking at the body language, looking at Ban's position on the minimap, and it's a save. They've called for it. Mere seconds
Where was
into the
Jet?
round.
Jet A shot पे था,
5v2
तो इसके
behind
ऊपर stun और
weaknesses
paranoia
for
है.
Foot.
But
Well,
paranoia
not for much
किधर
longer.
से डाला वो
Ada
पता नहीं.
They're going to get them.
He's picking up a rifle. There you go.
I think they're expecting some sort of congestion here, but they've almost just had to give up on this one. And you can't really blame them for it. It was such just a direct, fast-paced take. We spoke about like supportive utility and
nice bonus,
basically
nice
how that was
bonus.
utilized. They sent a stun and a paranoia through into
Bro, like I said, second game में single digit आ रहेंगे.
You remember last round when we used all our util to kill you off into it, and then he just dashes
That
straight
goes
into the A
without
side and kills
saying.
both players, or B side, sorry. That's insanity. I think there might have been a supportive flash, but I don't think it made a difference. That was just complete distraction play from Foot, and T1.
Oh, he took
well,
the
they fell
entire
for the bait.
supports.
Yeah. Oh, they
Towards
absolutely did. And you could see immediately they
the
realized
breach also stunned.
seconds into that second kill for Kiwi. Oh, we've been played.
Yep.
This is done. This round is over. And they go for the save. Feeling dejected like that, just a couple of rounds into the second half, it's not going to be putting a smile on their face on the side of T1. In fact, a timeout has been called as this squad attempts to get to the bottom of their problems.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be a quick resolution found.
भाई मेरे को एक बात बताओ 10-5 है जब 13-10 खत्म ही होना है गेम तो थर्ड मैप चालू क्यों नहीं हो रहा है
Just fantastic supportive utility that's coming through. But
I really
just
like
the bait and
you
switches
being
from Foot. They
optimistic.
seem to be so tuned in. And it's something we've spoken about many times when it comes to Turkish teams. It's that leadership. So somebody at the helm to actually have these adaptive ideas, these smart setups. You have to give credit to the coaching staff as well for Foot, because they have come into this game ultimately with either people putting this game level or in T1's favor.
Yeah.
And they have looked by far the better side into this first matchup. Now, of course, as we said, we expect that this bracket might actually go as Sideshow said and end up in a rematch, which I can't believe I'm saying that. FPX are probably going to win the whole group now, just based off that curse, but this is a rough
10-6, 10-6.
And just look at what they've got. 2 rifles.
Reflex देखा recon क्या तोड़ा
And on the other side of
क्या
things,
फायदा
they've got
opponent
everything
को
to play
कौन
with.
तोड़ेगा अरे
Nice aggression though.
अरे what the
मैं वो मरा कैसे नहीं
Sure, the trade is in.
बराबर मारा था उसने
बराबर तो मारा
The
headshot
advantage
नहीं
though
पड़ा
is certainly falling into the court of T1.
इनको गराज जाना है अभी के अभी
ये देख blind देख blind देख blind देख बस पीछे जाओ
fans of Ban who we see on the C side. Players coming from either angle.
My sexy.
Only Ban left to find and
किधर sexy 2v2 हो गया?
makes it look easy.
Sexy. आगे का देखा कर.
What is ear down?
Ear down? मतलब?
Yeah.
Ear drop.
मैं जो सीधा fail बोलो ना.
Oh, ear drop. Oh, backlog.
Isolator player. If he gets it into the 1v1, you almost have to say that this round is his, and Zeta is going to try and sell a ruse. Maybe that both players are coming in from that direction. Yet to move is munchkin. The spray's a little bit wild. He's going to go running back.
Yeah, baby, come back हो रहा है.
A little bit too close for comfort, and even a world where we might have seen a knife, but T1 they find
वो ना अगर वो गन नहीं निकालता सब नाइफ ही कर देना था. क्या बोलते हो
this one 10-6
सीधा नाइफ ही करना चाहिए.
अगर मगर का पता नहीं. 13-10 is my prediction.
Up to pretty comfortable for this and the next if they need it. Cracks again.
Knife करना था इधर सीधा.
Individually, that was 3 kills, and as you said, 20 HP there.
Did he even get stunned? I don't know if he did.
No, I think because he took his knife
out
and
jumped
so quickly, he avoids it, but
yeah, he's dead anyway.
Leaps straight into the waiting arms
वो
of his
कोच
opponent.
बच्चा नहीं दिख रहा?
To having his knife out,
अभी जो दिखाया?
Just a wild swing.
Or even if he just the guy was 1 bullet off.
Yeah.
Drone आ रहा है.
Hey, you
वापस ले लेगा अभी वापस ले लेगा. अरे वापस.
He has farmed this all up so many times throughout this game. Doesn't connect onto anyone this time. Kiwi's gone dashing into the site, made space.
Oh yeah.
Instant trade again.
Oh yeah.
It all seems
yeah.
Ban at the back of
Fake
site.
TP sound.
His teammate
yeah. नीचे देखो. Oh, नीचे. क्या?
He'll make the realization.
Wait, why did this Omen ignore
it?
him?
It leaves just cracks alone in this one. And again,
Easy, baby.
The site, but mostly because of Ban.
Why did he ignore him, dude?
Yeah, phenomenal round.
Come back, let's go.
Stepping up.
अभी उसको तो sound तो आएगा ना.
अच्छा वो जो नीचे बैठा था वो मेरे को पता नहीं वो क्या
कर.
लेकिन नीचे वाले को थोड़ी ऊपर का दिखेगा.
हाँ but T1 बोल रहा है आवाज आया रहेगा ना.
T1's redemption arc this year, seeing the barrel for so long. Good thing he was able to connect eventually. Out of Captain thought he'd flown under the radar.
This might be one of those rounds where you see the confidence come to bite them a little bit. That was a lot of individual fights handed over to Ban. Everybody expecting to win their battle themselves. Kiwi, well, we mentioned him going in solo every single time, but it's actually
by trades देख रहे हो T1 का on point.
Fight after individual fight, but T1 they've come out on top here.
ये राउंड तो नहीं जीत सकते. ब्रीच अल्ट किल जो अल्ट है.
हाँ सही है बात तो सही है.
T1 भाई बजे हुए के ऑन बजा रहे हैं.
Happy to play retake on A if needed. Too much.
उनको हाँ ये लोग को पुश करना चाहिए.
But they have a lockdown.
गया ये राउंड गया चलो. चलो.
But हेल वाले को अल्ट नहीं पड़ा.
भाई क्राउड खुश हो गया विंगमैन ने प्लांट किया तो.
He's bought them that little bit of time now as the clock moves into their favor. Rolling Thunder avoiding
हेल वाले को अल्ट नहीं पड़ा.
क्या कर रहे हैं लोग?
शॉक नीचे डाला उसने जो मर गया.
Strong down below. Atta Captain on for another. Mr. Fallen still hasn't
been out.
किलजे अल्ट हेलो.
हाँ किलजे अल्ट यूज नहीं किया होगा.
Every single player.
घर पे बिंग्स भाई घर पे.
भाई मेरे को एक बात बता. ब्रीच अल्ट से अच्छा किलजे अल्ट नहीं है.
क्यों बताओ भाई?
क्यों बताओ?
क्यों बताओ भाई?
Hit Zeta up top, so he's unable to react to anything else. I think it goes across the site, and either that or he just jumped exactly at the time. But
मेरे को लग रहा है ये लोग के पास आफ्टर शॉक और शॉक डाटे करके वो लोग ने नहीं मारा क्या किलजॉय?
Crazy man.
Again, these are things that it just can't happen when you're facing off against Foot in a post-plant situation. And well, look at this from Sire, straight through. Looking to try and take this round, but the counter util hit by a paranoia and a bullet to the face. They've not got a lot to play with in this round, continuing the push, and they almost lose another life. Carpe tagged desperately low.
Carpe, baby.
Yeah, left on 35. Lockdown still in his back pocket. He'll be avoiding further fights. Phenomenal beginning to this round for the side of Foot, and again we see that discipline in play. Atta Captain And Kiwi holding the extremities for the first 30 seconds or so, but now the squad starts to group up. They'll look for a new target to take down, and it looks like the C site is what they have their sights set on. Ban tucked in that corner. He'd managed to sneak his way here just a few moments ago.
Oh!
Shot. I mean, that very much looks like that should be the only player here. They're not checking back first. And they paid the price. A double kill. The Hunter's Fury fired out a little too far away from the first. And nothing found in the second. This is right back into play for T1.
That looked like it was on, especially the first one, but hey, Ban has made this one competitive. Started to come alive over the last couple of rounds. Moj,
भाई आज ये जेटा भाई बहुत हगे भाई मैंने देखा 4 बार है
विफ हुआ है टिबन भाई विफ हुआ है
विफ नहीं हुआ आपका प्रेडिक्शन गलत
हम करे तो हगे यार वो करे तो विफ
हम कहां से तू कब खेला रे लवड़े
टीबॉन लास्ट ऐसे होप बोलते
हाँ भाई आज तक लैन हारे
इसका क्लच है आफ्टर शॉक करके हाफ करेगा फिर स्टन करके फुल करेगा
कुछ नहीं करेगा हेडशॉट गाएगा भी देखिए
The rolling thunder will be committed. They're not risking anything in this 2v1. A stun through gives away his position. Knows exactly where to look. Another foul. Same as previous map now. The home stretch is in front of them. 1 round of the next 5 needed. And they'll be shutting T1 out of this opening series so far.
अगर ये राउंड कारपे ने अल्ट नहीं मारा ना मैं रोने वाला हूँ.
Not enough to win one match.
उसका किल शॉट अभी भी है क्या?
Really good sign for FUT. Like we looked at them coming into this tournament after having close games at Tokyo versus the likes of attacking Seoul, losing to DRX, who definitely looked shakier. I think that was before they actually subbed out Foxy as well. So. A great sign for them thus far. Is he actually just going to stick that all the way through? He held it. He went onto the site and just found an opener. No fear in this man's heart. They've still got a couple of positions that they need to clear.
Use कर लिया Bings भाई आपका सुन लिया वो.
Position of Munchkin could do serious
चलो
damage.
Bings भाई good night.
They're just going to back out of there. So much time on the clock that they don't need to
मेरे को
risk it.
एक गेम देखनी है यार डेमन भाई.
डेमन भाई का एक मैप देख के जाओ.
ये आफ्टर शॉक कैसे मिस हुआ
उनका सब मिस हो ही रहा है हाँ ना वे इजी खिलता
3 players here. I thought FUT were out, like fully out, once Cracks didn't go for the plant with the wingman. Once the spike went running back all the way down A long, and indeed they will be changing direction, but very, very slowly from the shadows. Spots one player, but yeah, you're starting to get the idea that they're rotating. If you're on the side of T1, the plant coming
Lil Bro's got this one. Don't worry, not need for any help here.
Boom. That's how we do it.
They
now
even tried to
very quickly on it. They're going to try and defuse this already, tapping it immediately and causing this utility to start being thrown
What
out.
the hell?
How has Cracks found that? A nail in the coffin for the squad of T1.
No.
Cracks picks up even more. The flank is on its way, and that will do it. 13
शर्ट को Bings भाई.
एंटीता
क्या है
opening series.
एंटीता.
The first Turkish team to make it here to champions. We've had individual players here and there, but they're the first full squad to do it, and what a debut. A 2-0 dominating fashion. You're looking at that scoreboard, and well, 5 of the top 6 come from their side. Kiwi leading the way, but it was an incredible performance from the likes of pretty much everyone. Even when you look at the role switches, the supportive utility. I had a captain at one point. I think he had 1 kill and something like 11 assists.
भाई ये लोग खुश क्यों नहीं है कोई बताएगा ये लोग जीत गए भाई.
Amazing performance.
कौन फुट?
It's not a death sentence.
हाँ.
एक ही गेम तो जीता है.
बहुत कम है रे.
फिर भी अभी आया
मंडे रे.
डीले में थे वो लोग.
They could be in some serious trouble because FUT are definitely here to play in Los Angeles.
कुछ भी बोलो भाई उनका वाकले भाई बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे हैं.
वाकले बहुत अच्छा खेल.
From hearing from guys
देखो ना आप भी बहुत अच्छा खेल.
saying that they haven't changed a bunch.
मैं कल से वाकले की क्रॉसर यूज
करूंगा. already working on it. I think they're getting pretty close. Players like Kiwi on the international stage, we knew he delivered. Players like Cracks, like Moj, who in that first match
को पता है ना सुबह का 6:30 को गेम है DRX और
multiple different facets where FUT have stepped up their game. This is getting scary for
वही
anybody else that's sat there.
पहला
But that's the thing, if they can
बहुत
keep
जल्दी
getting away
खत्म
with
हुआ ऐसा
everything
भी
they
होता
did in
है
this first matchup,
रॉसी भाई
I think
एक क्वेश्चन है
anybody they come up against is going to be
ये
in
मैं
real
गेस कर
trouble.
सकता हूँ, ये
I will
बहुत
say that I
भयानक
do
क्वेश्चन
feel like T1 made a lot
हाँ
of mistakes.
मैथ्स का क्वेश्चन है
मैथ्स का ठीक है
So at least like
Let me
everyone's not
answer.
being
T1 फुट से आ रहे
silly things that I didn't
T1 किससे?
बराबर
हम T1 से आ रहे तो कैसा फिर
बराबर मतलब
T2.
मतलब दर्द बहुत है
समझा नहीं FUT से T1 हारा हम T1 से आ रहे हैं मतलब
T1 FUT से हारा
T1 FUCT से हारा
हाँ
हाँ
हम T1 से हारे
बराबर
तो दर्द काहे है इतने लाइफ में समझ
पता नहीं मैं जब T1 के सामने खेले तो मैं नहीं था तो मेरे को पता नहीं
तू जब T1 के सामने खेला तब तू नहीं था वेरी रियलिस्टिक बेंच मैं जब वड़ा पाव बना रहा था तब वड़ा मेरे पास नहीं था
सच में तो वड़ा पाव कैसे बनाया आपने
तो तू T1 के सामने खेला तो तू कैसे नहीं था भाई
अरे मैं खेला नहीं तो कैसे
अब भी तो बोला तू जब T1 के सामने खेला तो तू नहीं था
हाँ
तो तू खेला कैसे
मैं किधर खेला मैं किधर बोला मैं खेला T1 के सामने
अरे
अभी बोला
बेचारे को
अभी बोला मैं मैं बोला क्या
हाँ तूने बोला मैं T1 के साथ खेला मैं नहीं था
ये नहीं खेला
ये नहीं खेला मेरे को पता है लेकिन ये बोला ये केला
सच में मैं केला नहीं हूँ मैं एप्पल हूँ
अब
मैं मैंगो
कॉन्फ्रेंट करूं रॉसी कॉन्फ्रेंट
मैं मैंगो
बोल रहा
एप्पल और क्या हूँ मैं ओह शीश ये तो बोल के किया है कैमरा आपके ऊपर डालेंगे सब लोग मोबाइल पे फ्लैशलाइट ऑन करो करके किया है
राइट वाले का वॉच तो है
भाई क्या सब लोग कैमरा में देख के एग्री करते हो मेरे साथ कि EG20
हाँ EG20 ही आप तो बोला था FPX जीतेगा
भूल गया
मैं वो टीबोन बोला था
टीबोन बोला मेरा फेवरेट टीम है
टीबोन बोला भाई
कौन है टीम
भाई तुम लोग अंडरएस्टिमेट कर रहे हो FPX को एक टाइम पे पता है ना FPX डोमिनेटिंग था
अरे वो नावी का रोस्टर था वो है वो नहीं है अभी
टीबोन भाई FPX कौन से रीजन से वो बता दे बस
FPX जही से रीजन से भी है अच्छा रीजन
क्या अरे FPX इधर से
चाइना
FPX मेरे हिसाब से गुरगुंटे पाड़ लिया
गुरगुंटे I agree T1 I agree
वाइट फील्ड बोलते
bro how come the traffics are reduced now in Bangalore I've noticed यार
I think everybody working on laptop
क्या गया
I think so work from home बोलते everyone
कौन से लोकेशन का बोल रहे हो T1 कम
bro I went to this Flipkart office recently
वही bro
zero traffic in Bellandur signal bro like hello
T1 where do you live which area
JP Nagar
sheesh
area
JP Nagar sheesh
ಮಚ್ಚ ನಿಂದ ಯಾವ್ದು ಏರಿಯಾ
8ನೇ ಮೈಲಿ
ಏನ
8 ಮೈಲ್
ಏನದು
ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ
there's 8 mile bro
ದಾಸರಳ್ಳಿ ಹತ್ರ
ದಾಸರಳ್ಳಿ ಯಶವಂತಪುರ ದಾಸರಳ್ಳಿ ಅತಿ
bro Yashwantur is really
too far bro too far
hey it's not far bro it's
my cousin stays there way too far bro. I mean now after metro it's near you can directly come
it depends where you want to go
but for us South Bangalore people it's far only bro
जल्दी bro actually 3:30 was supposed to start जल्दी start होगा
new sub from T1
I think they'll start in 15-20 minutes
20 minutes तो फिक्स है नेक्स्ट गेम के लिए अभी बता रहा हूँ
आज 3 मैच है क्या
हाँ आज 3 गेम
ये कल भी 3 मैच ही है आज जो जीतेगा
कल ही तो 2 था
कल का मैच क्या क्या है कल क्या हो गया भाई लॉर्ड कैसे हार सकता है एनर्जी वर्सेस बिली
अरे बिली अच्छा खेलता है बिली अच्छा खेलता है
बिली ये कहाँ का टीम है बिली
चाइना बहुत अच्छा खेलते हैं लोग
ब्रो मेरे को ये देखना है कल।
मजा आता है वो गेम सच में मजा
हाँ
आता
क्या?
है। हाँ बिली गेम मस्त खेलते हैं।
I wanna watch Crashies, my boy.
Crashies, baby.
Bro, who told Poojan left? He's still the.
En son AG ile oynadığımızda şu an aynı grupta olduğumuz için konuşuyorum. Kötü bir mağlubiyet almıştık.
Who is benched now?
Ama şu an
ये तो streamer है ना? Ethos.
Ethos उनका 6th है, 6th plus content creator.
üst turda daha da sert oynayacağımıza eminim.
मारा इधर देखो है। कोई 6 ले लो भाई।
ले सकता है एक्चुअली, बहुत बेनिफिट होगा।
क्यों बे? कैसे बेनिफिट होगा?
You have a 6 and you also have a content creator in your team.
बात है। मैं समझा कौन से वे से।
बट अगर किसी का हाथ टूट गया तो जब टीफोन वे स्टेज पे
ब्रो बट मजाक से हटके सीजीआरएस जो खेला भाई।
सीजीआरएस हाँ मजा।
एंगल
अरे वो प्रो प्लेयर ही है, वो वैलोरेंट प्रो प्लेयर नहीं खेल रहे बस। लाइक वो एक्चुअली वो सीएस को मैं ना नंबर 1 थाई प्लेयर था और एससीए में भी ऐसा काइंड ऑफ बेस्ट प्लेयर ही था वो सीएस में।
ब्रो बिली इज लाइक सेकंड रैंक डूड।
हाँ चाइना में सेकंड रैंक है।
चाइना का?
यस
फर्स्ट कौन सा? एडवर्ड?
हाँ एडवर्ड गेमिंग। भाई यू नो उसका उनका टीम का नाम एडवर्ड गेमिंग क्यों है पता है?
क्यों?
ओनर का नाम है एडवर्ड।
क्या?
क्या?
सच में?
हाँ ओनर का नाम है एडवर्ड और
बिली लॉस्ट 3-1 अगेंस्ट एडवर्ड।
उनका लीग ऑफ लेजेंड्स टीम है ठीक है, और वो लोग टूर्नामेंट जीते। उनका बॉस ने सब प्लेयर्स को घर दिया है, घर।
जस्ट सेइंग वैलोरेंट सबसे अच्छा गेम है।
बिलियनर है बिलियनर। कोई नहीं पिंक्स भाई राइट का ही है दोनों गेम चलो।
हाँ क्या फिर?
हाँ दोनों।
मेरे बात बताओ, ये जो चाइना चैंपियंस क्वालिफायर है ये कहाँ स्ट्रीम होती है?
जापान में हो रहा है मेरे हिसाब से।
नहीं यूट्यूब में होता है, यूट्यूब और ट्विच पे भी होता है, और उनका भी रहता है ऐसा लोको जैसा, उनका भी है एप्स वेब से ऐसा व्यू टीवी कुछ तो करके है उधर होता है।
क्या आता है इनकी नंबर चेक पता है क्या?
हाँ उनका vivo.com पे होता है।
अरे वो नहीं, यूट्यूब में नहीं होता है क्या?
यूट्यूब में भी होता है।
इतना नंबर चेक करके क्या फायदा टिबोन? अपना यूट्यूब का नंबर्स देख आजकल।
है ना टिबोन वैलोरेंट esports CN।
ब्रो एडवर्ड इज क्लियरली नंबर। ब्रो बिली विल लूज अगेंस्ट एनर्जी ब्रो टुमारो।
ए बिली भी अच्छा टीम है यार।
ब्रो 13-4 13-2 अगेंस्ट ईडीजी।
नहीं लेकिन अच्छी टीम है बिली।
वो लोग ईडीजी से डरते हैं उधर का टीम सब लोग।
हाँ कंग का थोड़ा
हाँ डरते हैं लोग।
हाँ क्या?
बट बिली अच्छा खेलता है एक्चुअली। बिली चलो टीबोन भाई आईडी कार्ड निकालो।
किस चीज का?
नहीं देखा ऐड अभी कैंपस क्लच का?
यंग तो लगता है यार टिबोन, कुछ भी बोल।
हाँ अगर टीबोन बोलेगा मैं कॉलेज पढ़ रहा है सब 3rd ईयर तो छोड़ देंगे टूर्नामेंट।
मतलब देख के ऐसा लगता है कि बेंच 50-60 साल का, लेकिन मेरे हिसाब से 40 तो गेस कर लेंगे। यंग तो है।
हाँ, मैं जब टीबोन को देखता हूँ मेरे को लगता है 23 कुछ तो है बस।
भाई सच्ची बोलूं क्या, मेरे को रिसेंटली
एक सेकंड खुद झूठ रहे मतलब क्या रे लवड़े।
आपने बोला ना बाल।
थैंक यू।
मेरा हो गया बिंग्स भाई, रेगुलर जिम जा रहा हूँ 6 महीने में, देख लियो भाई बिना शर्ट स्ट्रीम करेगा।
बिना शर्ट
हम वेट करेंगे टीबोन उस दिन का।
स्पेक्स आएगा ना
जिस
इंडिया का आई शो स्पीड बनूंगा मैं।
ओह शीश इंडिया का टीबोन बनना है।
लव यू यार रॉसी, तूने मेरे दिल ओपन कर लिया।
मैं बहुत कुछ ओपन करता हूँ।
छी गए
स्कोप के अलावा।
ऐसा नहीं देखो मेरा
समथिंग विल प्ले नो।
हाँ
पहुंच गया ऑलरेडी
भाई एक टाइम था मैं मेरे मॉम डैड हम लोग बैठ के रॉसी का वीडियो देख के सेंटी हो रहे थे, और आज लड़का इतना बड़ा हो गया है कि हाँ मैं बहुत कुछ ओपन करता हूँ।
अरे
अरे
देखो
मतलब
देखो
mouse
देखो
pad यार।
अगर सोच गंदा है तो मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता।
बात तो है, बात तो है।
सोच अच्छा होना चाहिए, समझ रहे हो?
तो अच्छे सोच में गंदा आ रहा है तो क्या कर सकते? तू सोचो गंदा सोच कैसे रहेगा?
Wait, where is NEVT? They didn't qualify, yeah?
NEVT
कौन
क्या
सा?
है?
NEVT क्या?
Lev.
वो LEV है।
अच्छा लिवाइथन, अरे वो लोग नहीं
पता है
होगा।
हाँ? Really, dude?
यस, वो लोग लॉक-इन में बहुत अच्छे खेले एक्चुअली लिवाइथन।
ये मजा आएगा देख।
भाई इजी मेरे हिसाब से 13-1 और 13-0 जीतने वाले हैं मेरे हिसाब से।
नहीं बंक्स भाई उतना भी अंडरएस्टिमेट नहीं करना चाहिए।
नहीं रे, मैं बता रहा हूँ एपिक जीतेगा।
इजी 2-0 टिबोन भाई।
2-0 नहीं
हो जाए 50 गिफ्टेड मेंबरशिप चैलेंज।
हाँ मैं भी हूँ, मैं भी
टिबोन भाई अभी तो आपने घर भी लिया है, पैसा छाती में लेके जाओगे भोसड़ी वाले।
सही है
देखिए अभी।
हाँ एक मेंबरशिप भी नहीं लिया यार इसने मेरा।
अरे केवाईसी नहीं हो रहा था।
केवाईसी क्यों चाहिए मेंबरशिप के लिए?
यूपीआई से हो जाता है।
मैं अच्छा हो याद दिला, मैं अब भी कैंसिल कर रहा हूँ, ऑन स्ट्रीम में कैंसिल कर रहा हूँ तेरा
व्हाट्स अप नास्टी रोबो।
मार्केट डाउन है उसके आप ये बख्शो।
स्वाइप अप नहीं डाल रहा है आजकल टीबोन, इसलिए ऐसा हो रहा है।
भाई कल मैं ट्रैफिक में स्वाइप अप डाला, पता है?
स्वाइप अप नहीं डाल रहा है।
पब्लिक बोल रहे हैं यार ट्रैफिक में तो छोड़ दो स्वाइप अप। सिल्क बोर्ड में सिग्नल था 5 मिनट का, पट से स्वाइप अप। ए गाइस,
हाय गाइस, चेक आउट द न्यू कौन सा है आरओजी।
पट से स्वाइप अप।
गाना तो बढ़िया
हो गया क्या टीम? एक टाइम पे तो डोमिनेटिंग टीम था।
I was there when you just started to learn Valorant. You have grown a lot. Love it. Thank you, bro.
Well, so bro, I heard Aspas is going to Sentinels. Is that true?
Maybe.
उसका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हो रहा है वैसे भी, एंड टेंस का भी खत्म हो गया।
उसके लिए तो बहुत पैसा मारेंगे लोग।
किसके लिए?
आसपास के लिए।
उसने कल रिकॉर्ड तोड़ा ना, फर्स्ट पर्सन टू हिट 1000 किल्स इन कॉम्पिटिटिव।
फास्टेस्ट 1000।
हां फास्टेस्ट।
फर्स्ट पर्सन 1000 नहीं है, बहुत लोग ने मारा 1000 लेकिन इसका फास्टेस्ट। ओके बट चांसेस है क्या उसका सेंटिनल्स में जाने का? पता नहीं, हो सकता।
फिर टेंस निकलना पड़ेगा फिर।
आई मीन बैंगलोर ब्रो।
Trends will be bench strikes.
वो बेंच तो आई डोंट थिंक होगा।
अबे मैंने देखा था ट्विटर
मे वो उसका वैसे भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट खत्म हो रहा है ना, मे बी ही विल एक्सप्लोर।
टेंस को भी बहुत पैसा देना पड़ेगा भाई।
He's not wrong. That is 100% fact. He's not wrong, and I've never lost to any of my players in a match. Well, 3 of them. 3 of the players in a match, so strongly agree. I still got it, guys.
Number 2.
भाई इजी जीतने वाला है।
Is a one-team region. Holy, that is 100% fact.
बाकी सब लोगों का 2-2 साल का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट है।
It's fact. It's only Fnatic. Every other team is bad. Deadlock will be played at Champions.
Well,
I don't think so. She's bad.
she's not great. She's not great.
Ow.
Has the
Cyber.
laziest in-game name of any pro player.
Wait, let me think.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, his name is terrible.
It's pretty close. He used to put effort when he did it the flip side.
Yeah, when
it used
it's
to be
backwards.
naughty with a capital letter and a lowercase letter. Now, it's just
He's famous. He doesn't care.
The LA crowd will be a better crowd than in Japan.
No, baby, no way.
See any
Tibon?
crowd being better than the one in Japan, to be honest, for both stadiums.
Japan best crowd, baby.
But if NA can do it, I hope so.
End कर दिया टिबोन ने? टिबोन gave up.
टिबोन? भोसड़ी के।
Americas will
Oh, T-Bone. Oh. Thand land. Land
आवाज
bone.
आ रही है?
हाँ.
अरे उनका नेट ठग दिया था.
अरे यार एयरटेल ने क्या गास किया भाई.
Love you, T-Bone, for the raid. I love you. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं यार, तू मेंबरशिप नहीं ले रहा मेरा, रोज रेड कर.
Connected. Microphone
मैंने एक
activated.
सवाल पूछा कि कल अगर मैं टेंस को रिप्लेस करके सेंटिनल्स में आया, इंटरनेट ही गया बीसी.
वो लोग इंटरनेट वाले भेज दिया आपको घर.
Disconnected.
You just go agree. We're winning it all. Won't even be close.
स्टार्ट हो गया क्या?
EG तो नहीं जीतेगा चैंपियंस, क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, चालू होएगा, अभी तो बिग बैन है.
Oh, baby bear.
I make that FPX has a chance to do the funniest thing ever. If they beat EG then, and we're just told that there's no chance. But yeah, I think it's fair for now, but never. There's a lot of people. They're already getting better very quickly with EG.
Bro, नाले 8 घंटे.
कंफर्म है क्या?
Confirm. Fator को हेली.
Bro, 4:30 I'm going. I'm telling no one.
हाँ, 2 o'clock confirm.
नहीं, 4:30 I will go.
हाँ, Adrolo भी.
Yeah, you agree with that, right? You're backing it. But let's talk about EG here a little bit, because EG, I feel like going into Tokyo, maybe there was not even any expectations of what this team
Yay, Damon is here, dude. Damon भैया.
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? That sets a different precedent too, because like when you go into a tournament without having high expectations, you play a lot differently. You can be a lot more loose, and you can actually like play just however you do in scrims, you know. And now that there's a standard that we know now, it's like, how are they going to perform?
In talking to Potter about this team, they always use the term that we're playing with house money, right? They never thought they'd be there. A coach had to knife someone for them to make playoffs and make a crazy run to make it into the international event, and then don't even think they're going to have Demon 1. I mean, it was unparalleled, the run that EG had. And it is going to be a huge shift in expectations, because this team's entire history, going back 2 years to when they were in Tier 2 in like 2021, they were always an underdog. No one ever expected them to win, to go on runs. But now placing top 2 at an international tournament, that I think will shift the expectations, and I imagine will force the players to kind of think things through mentally differently. And I'm wondering what that's like for you, Baby, because you've done that with FaZe before, to go for a team with very low expectations to one who kind of became a favorite in a lot of tournaments.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you what, on FaZe I got second place, and
oh, you know all about it.
Yeah.
You know all about it.
It was downhill from there, let me just say. But, you know, it was a great time getting second while it lasted, you know, and going on that crazy run.
I'm glad you mentioned the second place thing, because coming top 2 is actually a bad thing if you don't win it. As you guys can see, the history of the second place curse at global events, it is the only curse that has yet to be broken. Baby Bay, are EG the team to break this curse, do you think?
I mean, I feel like they've broken the 9-3 curse, so, you know, they could be, you know, but you never know. We got to see how they perform today, and, like, I'm not going to say that this is a big test for them, honestly, but, like, they should be dominating today. Let's just...
Yeah, they've made miracles happen before, is the thing. So if there was a team to break it, I think it would be EG. But I don't think today is really going to be the day they're at risk of losing out. I think actually they're in a group that's really good for them to get acquainted to the international stage again and kind of warm up to those new expectations.
I think that's the looking at the other strength of the other teams in this group is really, really interesting for EG. And that's the other thing, right, with EG. They're innovating. People are starting to take things that they do for themselves. I think the Sova fracture is something that we've been talking about for a while, Mimi. But it's not just that, though. There's a lot of other stuff that people are just straight up yoinking from EG.
Yeah, people have been stealing their comps, their ideas. I think in particular, the way that they put an emphasis on ultimates and how well they can use them on the fly surprised and impressed so many people. Also, Boosters and IGL, the mid-rounding for this team got so good at that event. I mean, they really were playing at a form that we've never seen from this team before.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw them play this good, like, ever, right? Like, I played against them my entire career, and, I mean, Bustio said it in an interview. He's like, not a lot of people gave respect to like the core that we have. And you know what? They're actually a great core.
They absolutely are. And the thing is, well, other Miracle runs in history have been based on form. It was Zeta with Sugar Zero playing like a god. It was players stepping up, becoming massive individuals to make upsets happen. You think the crew champs run, but I don't think that was the case for EG. If anything, Demon 1 was playing worse than he did at home. It wasn't one star propelling his team to the levels that they reached. It was really their style and their consistency as a roster that defined their run, which I think makes it different than other teams who have made miracles happen in the past.
Does that open them up to some anti-shotting though? Maybe people know what they do now? How deep is their playbook?
कौन भौंक रहा है? मैं ही भौंक रहा हूँ भाई. Potter does a great job with making micro adjustments. Like I used to play against them all the time. Like I said, every time we would play them, it'd be
very
something
chill.
new. So like even if it's like a micro change, she knows how to implement that within the team. And a big thing that they focus on.
स्कूल है आज नशे करके जाऊँगा but मैच देखना
भाई. If their comms are on and they're vibing off of each other, like it's gonna be tough for any team to play against them.
Do you know what? I don't think we've heard enough from Bustio. I want more.
मेरे को स्कूल
He's
जाना
standing
बहुत
by
पसंद.
right now actually with Sideshow.
I really wish I could go to
quick
school
word out of him.
again.
Check this out.
Again.
Bustio, welcome to the big stage of champions. Now, you famously said that China will never be better than North America in Valorant. So presumably that means today's going to be a 2-0. How many rounds are you going to drop?
To be humble, I think we'll give them 8. 13-4, 13-4.
And that's humble, 13-4, 13-4. Well, there you go. You heard it from him.
Oh, like 8 total.
You just gave him a and
he didn't even let him finish.
Well. You just literally walked off. Yeah. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's reasonable. I had the same opinion going into today.
I mean, just his walk alone, that was stupid alpha. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
he rolled the sideshow like just flexing him like that. Like.
I mean, speaking of alpha, I gotta talk about one guy who I feel like has been so cold and consistent for this team, which is Ethan. I know Tom was kind of making fun of him having one of the boringest names, perhaps, but Mimi, nothing else about this guy on the server is boring.
His impact is incredible. His supportive utility, I think, is really world-class. And on top of that, his individual form stepped up to such a big level at Tokyo. On top of that, Baby Bay, just the experience he brings to any team is huge.
Yeah, he's such an annoying player to play against because you know he's always going to make the right play. It's like he rarely gets caught out, rarely does something that's deemed stupid. And you know what? It's because he's a championship level player. He's won majors before, right? Like this guy just brings that entire energy and really brings it all together for the young guys on his team.
You can see that the crowd never bothers him. He's always so focused and in the zone. You guys don't believe in FPX. I don't know why you would say that, because let's talk about FPX. I still feel like when it comes to Chinese teams, Mimi maybe still one of the lesser known ones, because all of the attention has always been on EDG.
This team made it to Lock-in and promptly lost one game and went out there, but they have been international before and they've made some changes, picking up Lysor during the offseason. But the thing is, I actually think FPX has slipped in their standings in China. Well, a lot of these teams, I feel, have really improved, especially EDG with their run at Tokyo. FPX has been struggling. Still, I see so many fundamental issues, the late rounds falling apart. They have star power. They have players who are really good, but it feels like oftentimes they rely very heavily on that. And really, against super fundamentally sound teams like EG, I just don't think that's going to be super successful internationally. So this is going to be a very hard task for FPX if they want to try and mirror EDG's run and have another top team for China.
What are your thoughts?
I mean, I think in order for them to win this series, they're gonna have to pull out some crazy things. I think they're gonna have to be running through smokes, getting like 2Ks back to back. Like it's gotta be some crazy stuff going on. I don't see a world in which they win because of the foundation that EG has.
These guys, they play absurd comps, double controller with like an Astra and an Omen on maps you'd never expect it. Berlin is lurking as the IGL infant. They will do ridiculous things to catch people off guard.
You just summed up their win condition, by the way, so I'm glad you did that. But speaking of FPX, Berlin is standing by with Sideshow right now as well. Let's send it down to him.
Berlin, can I catch a word? Okay, so the last time you came to an international tournament, you were able to take a map off Carmen Court. What's it going to take to turn that into a series win here today?
那这个问题想问一下 Berlin 选手的是，其实你们上一次出现在国际大赛，你们当时是有拿下一张地图的，所以说你觉得怎么样？在这一次，你们能够把你们的胜势从一张地图变成赢下一场对局呢？一场 BO3。
我们准备了更多的小秘密，然后就是要给一些战术震撼嘛。
भाई बच्चा इजल है भाई.
Definitely, I must say we have some secret weapon prepared, so definitely we're going to surprise EG for this game.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Good luck in your game. Thank you very much.
तुमको ये दिख रहा है कि बच्चा एजल है, मुझे कुछ और दिख
how he said secret weapons in plural.
आपको क्या दिख रहा है?
There's more than one
वो
secret
वहाँ पे और
weapon
हम
that they have prepared specifically for EG.
बिंग्स भाई वो एज में मेरे पास पीसी भी नहीं था, ठीक है?
मेरे पास वो एज में पीसी था, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या था पता है? वो एज में मेरे पास वैलोरेंट नहीं था यार। वो एज में मेरे पास वैलोरेंट नहीं था।
बात तो है। ये बात तो
क्या बात हो रही है पब्लिक?
पिंक्स उसका दुख भर कहानी बता रहा है।
टूटा हुआ
जब पिंक्स 18 इयर्स था तभी वैलोरेंट आता होता तो चैंपियंस में देखते हैं।
18 में नहीं, 18 में मैं थोड़ा बिजी था। 20
What is your age now?
I am turning this October 12, 26, I think.
यार 18 आई फील 18 में सब लोग बिजी हो जाते हैं।
कल तक के 19 सारे रोज इतना जल्दी कैसे हो?
पता नहीं कोविड में 3 ईयर कैसा गया।
भाई पॉटर का हाइट क्या है भाई?
हाँ ना?
We'll ban Lotus. They ban Lotus. You're banned.
We ban
Fracture. And then map number 1 from EG.
भाई FPX जीत गया, 3v2 हो रहा है V2 में।
ये तो नशा। अरे वो लोग भागी गए भाई उधर।
Ascent. Okay, side on ascent. Attack. Okay, map number 2. Pearl. Side on Pearl.
We'll pick defense.
Defense. Okay, next set of bans starting with EG. You have Haven, Bind, and Split.
We'll take out Haven.
Take out Haven. Your ban, you have Bind and Split.
आयन तो रेडियन कितना टाइम लगा आपको? मैं तो आयन गया ही नहीं।
Map number 3 is Bind. EG side on Bind.
मैं सीधा गया इमॉर्टल से रेडियंट या डायमंड से रेडियंट कुछ तो।
We'll pick defense.
Defense. Okay, I'm gonna run through this really quick. Make sure we're all set. First set of bans, we have EG with Lotus, FPX with Fracture. Map number 1 is Ascent with FPX on attack. Map number 2 is Pearl with EG on defense. Next set of bans are Haven and Split, which makes the Cider map 3 Bind with EG on defense. Good? All right, good luck to you both.
ये खत्म हो गया सेकंड मैच 2-0।
ये
भाई क्या फील आता रहेगा यार प्लेयर्स को। पैंच
फील तो बढ़िया है।
पंछी बन उड़ता फिर मस्त गगन में, आज जीतेंगे 2-0 FP के अगेंस्ट में।
भाई मेरे को भरोसा नहीं है भाई, ये बिंग जब भी बोलता है ना कुछ भी हो सकता है।
2-0 EG 2-0।
हाँ 2-0 तो हो गए।
वो देखो FPX ऑलरेडी भाई बोल रहे हैं।
मेरे को याद है ये कोच बिंग्स भाई, याद है
क्या?
इनका कोच
कौन? किसका कोच?
What to expect.
कौन सा किसका
but let's
कोच?
not forget, EG, they've been on the side where everybody underestimated them and they had to pay the price. So Mimi, surely they know not to underestimate their opponent.
They absolutely do. But this went from the two Evil Geniuses that no one believed in, no one was a fan of, to now making a run at Tokyo. Looking out over the crowd, I see the majority of people are here for EG, out to
भाई रेड लाइट में दिख ही नहीं रहा है भाई।
North American team making their debut in Los Angeles.
क्या नहीं दिख रहा है?
It feels like Baby
जो लिखा है वो लोग ने।
they seem like the heavy favorites, not just the favorites in a matchup. So what are you expecting from them today?
Just saying, इसी बंदे का अपन ने इमोशनल वीडियो देखा था।
अरे तो मैं सैड ही रहूं जिंदगी भर।
Go overboard and they don't start just running it down or something, you know, like I would hate to see that because this is a team that their success is made off of the fundamentals.
Yeah, let's talk about the maps here
Bigs
as well,
but
because speaking of not being able to run it down, I think Ascent coming out first, Baby Bay, is such a
मचा मैंने आरटी नगर ब्रो
क्या
आरटी नगर गोतिला ब्रो।
Yeah, and you know what I'm surprised at specifically is that they picked attack, right?
आरआर नगर है
attack first and I'm just like what are they going to do?
मंजुनाथ नगर you know.
So like I don't know. I mean, they have a really good opportunity now to set the pace and do something crazy, bring out those super weapons, you know?
Yeah,
But Ascent is a map that's very different since they were one of the first teams to break the streak on this map when they were the best Ascent team, pretty much undisputed. They also beat Paper Rex here on their run. This has been one of their strong suits. They play the default comp, but Boostio's IGLing, especially on the attack sides, has been really excellent throughout the run at Americas and into Tokyo as well.
Yeah, and also just the individual fragging too from Boostio on this map is always being very, very consistent. But Mimi, what about the side of FPX as we head into the Prime Gaming Agent Select? What do you make of this?
I mean, let me show you guys something. They're playing double controller, but it's not with the Viper. It's two of the more normal controller.
भाई सिंगल इनिशिएटर में सोवा कैसे नहीं लेते?
It's a ridiculous composition where they're almost
Double
always
initiate.
going to
अच्छा FPX की बात कर रहे हो?
but these guys will just put down smokes seemingly in strange random positions and make crazy plays. This is a
अरे Ascent है ना ये अच्छा है comp ये.
chaos baby bag that they tend to thrive.
ये comp actually बहुत अच्छा है.
I've never seen it.
चल रहे क्या सकते
हैं?
अरे दो वो लोग डिफेंस से बाहर ही नहीं आ पाएंगे सर.
यार फन प्लस के इसमें स्टैट्स ही नहीं है, मालूम है सरप्राइज होने वाला है मेरे हिसाब से.
I think that's always a strength for EG. The
मेरे को पसंद है, मेरे को पसंद है. नहीं सोवा से स्काई से इन्फो ले सकते हैं. अच्छा compared to सोवा. Plus attacking में भी स्काई थोड़ा ड्यूलिश जैसा खेल सकते हैं.
Even all the games we've seen so far, there have been surprises already. You never know
BMW
what
just
can
saying.
happen on a stage like this. Sometimes, baby, it really depends on who turns up. On
Potter fan.
Yeah, exactly. And I think
कब मिलेगा BMW? Hello.
Is on attack. Like setting that pace is so.
इंडिया में करेगा कोई
So
BMW स्पॉन्सर नहीं ना?
something crazy out of them, but
कल ऐसे ऑटोमेटिक कैसा होता है
this is
रे?
gonna be an uphill battle though.
Well, the agents are logged and the stage is
नहीं
all
इंडिया
set.
में नहीं
All
अभी
we
तक
need and are missing are two people to take us through this exciting.
ए तेरा डेमन वन देख.
Demon 11.
Damon baby.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, great setup for this one here. Evil Geniuses versus FPX, our #1 America seed versus the #3.
ये भी मस्त कास्टर है ब्रेन.
I'm looking forward to some whimsy.
ब्रेन मेरा फेवरेट है.
Listen, make some noise here. Let's get this group stage match started.
डेमन का मॉनिटर देखो बे मॉ के अंदर है पूरा.
Perennial underdogs now as the favorites in a match that would be the biggest upset I feel like we've seen at an international tournament if FPX was able to pull it off. And
FPX जीत गए तो मजा ही आ जाएगा.
Talking about set the tempo early, take grasp of the match.
चाइना में इतना पैसा है ऑलरेडी.
भाई मेरा स्टार्ट है ये ए शॉट वाला.
Once more, bit of mid exploration for the pistol round. FPX grouped up.
And even with the double smoke comp, Brent, not putting a smoke down in mid there. Not giving the idea that they're going for the A split. Jorgamo almost caught off.
Catching it. Quite a bit of damage actually off of that one. Berlin lucky to be alive, but they're going to be getting...
भाई blind. Alarm bot पे blind दिया.
What a lovely now the nano swarms. Boostio still anchoring towards the back. No one really swinging to deal with them. They just can't. Too many nano swarms at the floor, at the feet, yet still FPX coming up with the goods. 2 kills their way. Plenty of damage done to the players though. They are quite weak, and there's a shot. Looking off Ayang. Still close to the corner, Lysor. Oh, well, they're not going to expect this one. Still up close, onto the heaven angle.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
आप बोलना पिंग.
क्या शॉट्स वाला.
पिस्तौल राउंड ही जीत सकते हैं. 2-0 है ओजी के लिए.
आप बोलना पिंग. बोलना.
Last time we saw them at an international tournament, they've made a roster upgrade.
भाई 4K मारा रे उसने.
In the most recent tournaments that FPX has been playing in, Lysor has instantly rejuvenated the team and provided an upgrade in terms of the fragging power. Stick him on the killjoy. He's allowed them to have flexibility between double smokes and double initiator.
टाटा करेगा BMW नहीं, टाटा भी नहीं करेगा.
He's a
क्या चाहिए रे तेरे को?
really is.
वो भूल रहा था भाई 13-0.
EG on the back foot now off that. We'll see a slow beginning.
मैप अपना नहीं है भाई इसलिए बच गया.
बढ़िया एंगल है.
Playing the map backside quite cautiously. You can see the star placed down.
ये देख वन टैप. ये.
ना मेहनत करके एक बंदा पास हो गया उधर.
Not too good though.
वो भाग गया. मैं सेफ करके.
And that's put a bit of fear into FPX as well. Drone is being used to clear out mid, expecting them to pivot away from B main. But it's just the brakes getting pumped here. Boostio's going to look for another one off the back of the drone clearing a bunch of space. Looking to see if he can find a duel over towards tiles. It looks like this is just going to be
भाई रीड तो अच्छा है भाई FPX का.
Called by Berlin posthumously.
Yeah, fully grouped up there. So only going to be Ethan receiving this one. A knife earlier was broken into B main, and See him just floating around, doesn't actually have any util to stop this one. Finally, the hits coming through. Couple of stray bullets on the classic, not enough to do too much more. Door being closed. Boostio hoping to catch a cheeky timing. Denied with the door. The side's going to be gained for FPX. They don't have any B main control. Could play an important part in this one. Fully grouped up onto the side.
It's only Boostio with a sheriff. 4v5, FPX should still have an
advantage. Should
have an advantage indeed. There
Spam
we go.
Padi.
You caught the first one onto Ethan through lane. It's a triple phase.
Bhai, बहुत feety smoke है भाई.
TP disengage all around.
बाप रे, खाली कर दी.
Surviving. Economy relatively healthy there for FPX. You can bring this one into the third round, maybe get a decent bonus going.
Yeah, the weaponry is looking strong for them. I've been watching some of the FPX games, and their economy management is sometimes a little all over. I mean, even here, it looks like Ucore is going to try and get a Vandal into this round, despite the fact that he wouldn't have money to be able to...
भाई Sky का नाम कितना मस्त था ना. ये.
He's gone back over to the Bulldog here, so taking it a little more safely. EG, on the other hand, look like they're trying to set Demon 1 up to take early duels across B.
It's a heavy stack over there. The recalled star, at least the star placed down prior. Here's the benefit of some of these double smoke comps as well.
Hey, Bings bhai, ये कैसा था?
Mid, you can really just expend all of them early and not worry about it as
क्या कैसा
Bings
था?
Your feet Berlin.
आवाज आ रही है Bings bhai?
क्या कैसा था?
एक बंदे ने पूछा फाटो पे वॉच पार्टी क्यों नहीं कर रहे? मैंने बोला फाटो पे पार्टी कर रहे हैं, वॉच नहीं है बस. #OP.
नहीं नहीं, फाटो भाई पार्टी में वॉच कर रहे हैं.
And this is going to get set up for an A split here, where Jorgamo's in the position to ruin it.
बंदा इतना consistently inconsistent कैसे है पता नहीं भाई.
Plenty of noise being made though. Com spraying them down as they're just running it down all the way through, but Jorgamo he stays alive here into A main, holding this space as well. FPX make a call to try and flip the map, but they've stopped themselves just ever so slightly. The smoke's really just
भाई सिटी से भी जाएंगे क्या लोग?
40 seconds remaining. They do have some time to work with, but
जा तो सकता है, but too many angles to clear. बहुत time लग जाएगा.
Seeking to contain. You can see him just watching that angle deep.
30 seconds left.
वो ड्यूल जीतना है जेट के सामने.
लग रहा है भाई.
Positionings here. Demon 1 will be able to see them crossing. Yeah, we can hear it as well.
Oh, अल्टी भी आ गया. भाई लोग राउंड जीत सकते हैं.
हाँ जीत सकते हैं.
On them as well. It's going to be good positioning.
अरे पंची.
Did they know Boostio's there? Slight misstep with the flash. There's only 2
आई उसका पंची.
Boostio who denies them that chance.
नहीं बराबर था बे. उसका डॉग ने वो भी दिया था इन्फो.
हाँ अल्ट ने इन्फो दिया था. फ्लैश करके क्रॉस कर सकता
था. हाँ उसका फ्लैश वो हो गया.
The flash I think connected with the wall and just kind of getting tangled up there in the architecture.
अच्छा राउंड था लेकिन अच्छा राउंड था.
That's what you're going to get.
हाँ अच्छा बोनस है actually.
They really like to mess with expectations.
But Sky का अल्ट पीछे लगे ना. Sky का अल्ट नहीं है अभी.
क्या भाई इजी जीता तो भी आप बोलना है. FPX जीता तो भी आप बोलना. भोसड़ी वाली किस तरफ में?
EG में बता रहा हूँ FPX ना प्रिपेयर करके आए हैं इस बार.
EG 2-0 लेकिन FPX अच्छा खेल रहा है.
रेस्पेक्ट नहीं जीतेंगे.
हाँ रेस्पेक्ट जीत गए.
And this is the freedom that we have with the Astra. It's not that unusual of a composition. It might seem odd, but it's kind of similar to the Viper Sky compositions that we've seen some of the Americas teams run, like Cloud9 and Loud, I believe, at one point.
Yeah.
But the Astra utility can be used in more, varied ways. A flash to clear out wide.
Let's go deep. Jorgamo's not going to be playing there, though. Already moved from that position, still a slight jiggle, and really down to the minute mark, there hasn't really been much else movement. It's a reclearance, it's called by EG with a paranoia, sets him up. Tagging to air, but it doesn't matter. Demon 1 still wins his fight out, left down to 9 health. What's the response? Not too much else, still contact plays here, working themselves up towards Cat, FPX. Going for the 2-2 split, but EG still have players anchoring down. Locking it down, rooted in place almost. There's a KO nade pushing him even further away. Time is really running short, and there is chaos in the mix. Lysor through the smoke. What kind of timing do you really want to take here? Waiting for the stars to be dropped down. There it is in front of them. But still brought down. Ethan is there with a trade. At the backside of Jenny, Spike's out in the open with 23 seconds left, looking for information, buying time. It's a 3-2-1 face. And EG, they've got the discipline for it.
Good night, bro.
वो जेट को मरना चाहिए था रे पहले.
I think they worked out very nicely. They had a 3-piece crossfire that was ready to melt any of the players that came through, despite the player at Switch getting.
भाई स्टैट्स अच्छे लग रहे लेकिन ना.
And this position of box is so nice.
Strats अच्छा ही है, but
मार नहीं पा रहे FPS के स्टैट्स अच्छे लग रहे हैं
क्योंकि उनको
स्टैट्स
पता
का
है
अच्छा है
कि
भाई बहुत सिंपल मिस्टेक्स हो रही है
अरे वो स्ट्रैट्स थोड़ी होते वो फंडामेंटल्स है
They've won enough rounds despite the fact that Demon 1's not, you know, up at the top of the scoreboard for him to start getting a bit more aggressive and peek out.
जिसका एक्ट रैंक की गोल्ड कलर से क्या बोल सकते हैं अपन
with a half by Stingers.
T1 Radiant है हेलो सही ना T1
aren't they? Smoke drop down off of that one
क्या
portion
बोल
of
रहे हो
utility and there's a lockdown
Pink Snap
committed
को
by
gold
FPX
on an eco round as well.
हाँ मैं हीरो
bit unusual and
Sorry भैया जी
essentially notified EG that they are going to be hitting this site.
मेरे को भी
क्या बोले इसके बड़े ने
24 कैरेट
Here's a paranoia sent flying one for one.
ब्लाइंड मिस हो गया उसका
Even will collect. Bringing down one of the players. Flash also just pushing it back through the choke point. No one can really get into this.
बहुत गंदी किस्मत है हो गया चलो
चक्को
13-2
अरे अरे
इस बार भी स्टार्ट अच्छा था एक चीज मिसिंग था वो था किलजॉय नेड
इस बार स्टैट अच्छी थी लेकिन
किलजॉय नेड किधर है हेवन में
सोआ के पास अलग प्लान था
अरे वो लोग पैरानोया डाला वो गैप के लिए बट
भाई उतना बड़ा गैप में थोड़ी ना पैरानोया जाएगा
We also saw a 0 point from
Looking
Ethan, the
for
two-way who
coach.
caused Bladestorm right as he popped it. So that's
अरे
a
इतने
jet
टाइम में
ultimate
पिंकी आ
that was
गई
supposed to
मिड
come
लेंगे ये
out
लोग
in there with the lockdown.
No, Demon 1's got the off.
It's just a flash recon play, I think here. Oh, and
Oh,
it's gonna have a Hunter's
Fury right behind it, yeah. As soon as the
Sheesh,
dart is
bro.
broken, that's the trigger. Com's consistent with it, lets it loose.
चलो
इजी शॉट भाई ऐसे पिक करने से मेरे को जी वर्सेस VLT याद आ गया
There's no shot. It's just filthy.
क्यों हंस रहे हो भाई हेलो
क्योंकि आप
minor
VLT में
adjustment
थे ना
over there in
तभी
the office for Demon 1.
I mean,
Listen, he had a bit of a rough beginning to the map, but okay, he's warming up.
And think about how perfectly timed this.
T1 आप क्या बोल रहे थे जब जीत रहे थे प्लान्स क्या चल रहा था आपको बताओ क्या प्लान्स चल रहा था
उस दिन अगर तू नहीं मारता ना हम शायद गोवा जा सकते थे पता है अगले दिन प्राइवेट इसमें
सबका गोवा प्लान कैंसिल कर दिया मैं
जो मारा 9-3 के बाद पूरा मूड खराब रहा था
मैं भगवान को
मेरे को तो कोविड भी हो गया भाई
कोविड
हाँ इसको हुआ था बॉस ने क्या ऑफशॉट मारा बे मिड में बेंच
पिंक्स अगर मैं आता ना वो प्राइवेट पार्टी में सारे गोवा में हो जाता
अच्छा फिर भी प्राइवेट पार्टी हुआ फिर
नहीं उदास में क्या पार्टी करेंगे बे
उदास में भी पार्टी कर सकते हैं ना
वैसे किया था
आपने किया था क्या रॉसी भाई
कौन सा
टूटा हुआ
तो डिप्रेशन में चले जाऊंगा
When that's on the board, they don't really care. They will still use your ultimates to try and snowball the rounds and the economic advantage. Just force the time out of FPX.
And FPX have a lot to consider here. You know, attack side on this map, it's going to be a little difficult. But
यार गुड हाफ देखने का यार मेरे को
FPX will have been extremely happy with the map veto.
ಗುರುಗಳೇ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಓ ಬ್ರೋ DRX ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ देखोगे ಬ್ರೋ पता नहीं ब्रो
They have a combined 74% win rate on these two maps across their lifespan, which is extraordinarily good. I mean, Ascent in particular, they've only ever lost twice to Billy Gaming.
Billy Gaming.
You know, they are not a bad team on this map. It's been causing the Chinese teams a lot of issues, and EG chose not to get rid of their permaban haven, or rather, chose not to pick FPX's permaban haven, and instead get rid of it themselves. EG just very confident that they could play the maps that FPX are good at and beat them on it through, you know, just outclassing them.
Yeah. Which is a reasonable expectation, I would say. You know, EG finishing second in Tokyo. Very deep run as well. Still a lot of naysayers as well that are doubting this team and they want to see the consistency with those results. But I mean,
well, let's be
for
real,
my
it has
liking,
to be clean. This group has to be clean.
It does have to be clean. It should be a slam dunk for EG in this group in terms of them being favorites. But new beginning to the round. Again, it's FPX on the weaker bye. Similar game plan that what we saw last time on the half by only this time down towards Cat. Late look from one of the players. Trailblazer plays out towards it.
What the fuck is he doing?
Misstep there. Was not expecting these players to be so fast up onto that angle. Smoke down, dropping it. Jorgamoto reposition, updraft to reclaim.
Oh.
Flash is really quite nice. FPX.
She क्या हो गया?
Great ideas of how they wanted to clear out the site there.
specifically the updraft play and swinging through it, really good coordination. And EG caught off by the tempo, as you were saying.
That's just okay.
Crucio caught by the spam, and suddenly, as quickly as the Seco round started,
भाई क्या sexy push किया बे.
these are the moments where
वो ऑफ गार्ड पकड़ गया
Chinese teams could
Soa.
definitely catch you off guard.
उसके बाद वे फ्लैश पिक हो गया
भाई कमबैक हो रही रे.
You can see that
एक
Tom
ही
was
राउंड जीता
expecting
कमबैक कैसे ये तो
to have that time to be able to throw a very well set recon dart up into tree, and he was just
यार
running.
FPX अच्छा खेला है रे, लेकिन साला EG 2-0 होएगा, बुरा लग रहा है.
हाँ एफएक्स अच्छा ही कर रहा है
For that operator in his hands. They'd love to remove it, missing the shot, but his position is known now. Yeah, quickly approaching his location, but this is really just going to be a firing range for him. He just needs to try and survive.
मारा किस नहीं ना.
मास्टर कार्ड का प्रमोशन.
Will he survive? Looks like.
Oh yeah, right. I just noticed.
Yes.
But take a look at that. I mean, Com completely overwhelmed, and then a little flustered, perhaps a little whiffy from the other two players that rank here in the A site. You'd expect Torgamo and Ethan to be able to catch one of those, but yeah, Ethan's reaction.
भाई इसमें जो भी ब्रांड दिखा रहे ना, सब मैं यूज कर रहा हूँ, पता है. LG का मेरे पास मॉनिटर है.
सच में?
मास्टर कार्ड का मेरे पास कार्ड है.
नहीं मैं बोलता हूँ
उमा का मैंने कपड़ा पहना है. KFC मैंने कल खाया था. हाँ सिर्फ चेयर नहीं है, बेंच. रेड बुल मैं अभी पी रहा हूँ.
सच में?
बस BMW नहीं है.
BMW आते ही.
Oh, party.
BMW का.
I mean, they're just rattling off bullets straight down.
टाटा करना चाहिए इंडिया में. टाटा का स्पॉन्सर है.
Almost claiming a freebie.
And this double smokes composition is going to put a lot of pressure on Demon 1 to find these good spots to play from. Good lineup there from Com, removes the turret. Means that Lysor's now going to be attached a bit more to watching out for B main. But FPX is going to take the time to commit to A, and that frees up the Killjoy once more to go for a lurk.
Nobody on EG is going to be playing onto the side here. Most of the setup from Tree, including the Killjoy Nanoswarm, so it's going to be completely wide open for them. Multitude of smokes laid down here, but here's the lockdown in play. It's going to be really clearing out most of the site. There has to be a call and a decision made by FPX. Do you choose to fight this one or not? A bit of confusion in the mix. They are really just staying grounded onto it. A bit of a touch there. Uses the ult, and he's still able to just sit himself into hell, but he needs to create more of a distraction. It's a triple face. EG, those fundamentals still reigning true, but they haven't cleared out B main. Still, Tree and Door needs to be watched for. Com brings it down, but still a smoke. Even sticking
कट गया. कैमरा देखो, प्रैंक हो गया आपके साथ.
भाई वो स्प्रे में लगा नहीं बे. अच्छा खेला लेकिन FPX.
Till the bitter end. Ethan, no intention of peeking.
Big ultimate investment, but a nice retake from EG. I think FPX had a couple of different ways that they could approach that.
वो जेट बस फ्री में मर गया और स्प्रे में लगा नहीं. अच्छा खेला लेकिन.
Synced up with some kind of tree push, and in the end, Yuko was just hoping to catch somebody that was pushing heaven as Berlin went for his ult dodge.
आप लोग कुछ.
All right.
कुछ पियोगे?
Still, 3 rounds for
क्या
FPX on the
आप
attack side.
कुछ पियोगे?
He's not doing too badly, and there's still many more opportunities to
Guys,
back up.
would you guys like to have a drink?
देखो ओमन.
Maybe.
Demon 1 looking for a different angle for the operator.
Oh, and it's just a classic play with a dart and a spam with the Odin.
How, bro?
Ultimate ad blocker.
भाई रिकॉन तो है.
Dash to disengage,
Lime
back away. Picking up the angle now once more, but it is
क्या
FPX.
Lime just कौन पीता है टाइम?
Looking at that 4.
भाई मैं तो सो रहा हूँ.
To them, and it's cemented even further.
That's both of the smokes gone.
And now there's nothing to really stop Demon 1. He can take all of these line-of-sight angles. There has to be risk-taking.
पीने के लिए लाके आओ.
What Yuko's doing. Kill onto Com. Close. It's missed. With the shot, that is a punish. It's 3 versus 3, just like that.
इतना मिस कैसे कर रहा है आज?
Close to the corner is Ethan.
He's stuck here, though.
Yeah, there's no real support for him.
अगर उसका डॉग मार्केट गया ना, मैं मान जाऊंगा.
Deep into B main is not going to be an issue.
It might just come down to individual
डॉग ही नहीं करेगा.
Still locking it down.
अरे पागल.
But there's no one else to follow up on that, so Ethan relatively safe and sound. FPX now just trying to get themselves through.
भाई निकाल सकते हैं लोग.
Just get a little bit easier. Ethan, how do you play this?
But ये लोग ना ऐसा.
Oh!
Bro, they're not losing that
उसको
easily.
दरवाजा बंद किया, उसको लगा स्विच वाले को मारेगा. स्कैम हो गया.
He's been very sharp in terms of hitting shots around the map. Puts his team in a 2v1 to win their 4th.
टिबन, पहली बात एक मैसेज आया है. मैसेज का स्टार्ट है, अरे वो लवड़े टिबोन. उसका सेकंड सेंटेंस है, उस भड़वे को हक नहीं है अपना ओपिनियन देने का।
क्या मारा यार,
इतना गाली कौन दे रहा टीम?
अजय भाई बहुत अच्छा खेल रहे हैं।
हेलो सुना?
हाँ क्या बोला?
मैसेज
कहाँ तूने भेजा?
तेरे लिए मैसेज आया है टिबोन।
बुलेट किधर गया भाई?
टिबोन
खेल रहे बे। अबे मेरे को मैं नहीं आया, मैं देख रहा हूँ।
यहाँ पे आया मेरे चैट में, तेरे लिए प्राइवेट मैसेज आया है।
किसके चैट में?
वो प्राइवेट मैसेज
मेरे
कैसे
चैट
में आया तो?
मेरे चैट में तेरे लिए मैसेज आया है, लव मैसेज, जिसका पहला है अरे लवडे टिबोन, ठीक है?
या मार
ये छोड़, मेरी बात सुन। अरे लवडे टिबोन, तू पोएट्री के अंदर जाएगा? हाँ, अरे लवडे टिबोन, उस बड़वे को बोलो उसको हक नहीं है अपना ओपिनियन देने का।
क्या?
हाँ, गोल्ड भाई ने बोला। हैशटैग ओपी इन द चैट।
ये पोएट्री कैसे
मैंने बोला क्या पहले बोलने का? मैं कब से व्हाट्सएप देख रहा हूँ भाई, क्या मैसेज है? भाई बहुत अच्छा खेल रहा है यार, जस्ट लाइक मी।
हाँ। अरे एमएक्स है क्या वो बॉस? मैं sleepy.
They've drawn a group that has a couple of teams that didn't do too well at Masters Tokyo.
Better than T1 for sure.
Despite,
I don't know, brother.
Some levels of success
tell
before
me,
that.
brother.
And then FBX, the third best team from China. Not an EDG that's gone on a run before at a big event. FPX have only won a single map at an international event, and that was against Carmine Core when they were playing Triple Initiator on Haven.
Trying to rally the fan base. Trust me, crowd work is hard.
Especially when your favorite team is currently dead even in a matchup that they should, on paper, be slaughtering.
टिबोन तेरे लिए एक और मैसेज आया है। You are a boosted fuck गांडू।
ये गोल्डी भाई नहीं हो सकता।
बोला है भाई,
बोलते गोल्डी भाई यूजुअली, ये इसने ही लिखा है गाइस।
हो सकता है मैंने थोड़ा ऐड करेगा, एक ही वर्ड ऐड करेगा।
गोल्डी भाई देख लो यार,
gets back up to form and they have Lysor and Uicore playing.
गांडो बोलते ही नहीं गोल्ड में, बड़वे बोलते हैं बस।
Serious chances of bringing it in the skill department.
EG really do need to tighten up as well the way they're playing around this. A lot of opportunities that they're granting. I think FPX.
भाई कोई बोल रहा था इधर सिंगल डिजिट आ रहेंगे कम बैक।
हाँ भाई हो गया ना, 5 राउंड जीत गए बस।
सिंगल डिजिट ही होगा और कुछ नहीं होगा।
क्या बोल रहे भाई, इतना अच्छा खेल रहा है।
हाँ एफपीएस अच्छा तो खेल रहा है,
अच्छा तो खेल रहा है, वो तो नहीं बोलूंगा।
बहुत
अच्छा खेल रहा है, ये राउंड भी जीत सकता है। सिर्फ
कहीं स्पॉट किया गया
भाई, लोग मिड कंट्रोल बहुत डीप लेते हैं, वो भी जल्दी।
भाई बिना सोवा कैसे 5 राउंड लिया भाई?
अरे सोवा उतना इसका ही अच्छा है वो।
Just controlling the aggression on the outsides of the map, going deep with Uicore and Ayang in the middle.
नहीं इधर उधर पूरा घुमा रहा है, इसलिए जीत रहे।
और ये लोग शूटिंग मस्त कर रहे हैं FPX वाले।
Backs away though. Bit of
ये
information.
डेमन भाई को बैक पेन नहीं होता है क्या?
डेमन भाई
tuck themselves towards main, will
So
not
bend
survive
over
though,
the
out towards Y, that's a skill, okay. Dash is still there for him, Dart is good with the reveal, but tucked behind Jenny, still alive, and kicking Ethan, tucked inside the smoke.
भाई वो एस्ट्रा का हेवन स्मोक क्या वजह से हुआ है?
They think that he's there.
बट इसके बाद सिर्फ क्लासिक
Finds the kill, but is brought down in the end.
एक ही क्लासिक है, क्या करेगा?
एक ही बात।
भाई खेल तो रहा है यार।
Already this plan is down.
एक्चुअली आप बोरिंग नहीं है, मेरे को लगा ऐसा डेमोलिश करेंगे।
अब देखो साथ में पिक करेंगे, देख लियो देख लियो। This is what is missing with us, dude.
Take the fight. He's got no teammates with him, does not care.
एक एक जाके पिक नहीं करते लोग, मैंने एक चीज नोटिस किया है।
To be able to get up to 6. Sure, they grabbed the pistol, but those are really significant big rounds to be able to take on the attack side of Ascent. There is a reason why this team is 8-2 on this map. And I feel like perhaps a little bit of overconfidence, maybe a little hubris, has led EG to pick in a map pool that is extremely good for FPX. When you have the depth like this, when you have the depth and the map pool advantage,
ए टिमोन कल जॉर्ड गैंग है, गोल्ड भाई ने बोला।
your opponent's best.
हाँ मैं तो
Not the strategy EG went with.
तू है अपने बेटे को बुला।
बेटे 10:30 बजे जाएगा गोल्ड भाई देख
the operator once more. Another setup here with the Hunter's Fury.
I am the hunter.
Trying to set himself up through with the chaos. The Hunter's Fury does cleave.
And in the meantime, your IGL Omen is swinging with the attack side operator. Of course he is. Just Berlin things.
He's backing away now though with the spike. Rest of his team.
Virgin Mojito is दिन से बहुत relate कर पाता हूँ. Why? Because you're
A main control. He's now still holding on to itself. Finally regrouping. Is there a rifle for Berlin? I feel like you don't want an op in this scenario, but see what they can do with it.
They certainly had enough cash to be able to give him a rifle as well as the operator, but I don't know whether they did.
Here we go. Smoke's dropped down now. One at the choke point, Boostio. What kind of timing did you choose to take it? There's an alarm bot at your feet. It's broken. He anticipated it. Somebody was creeping up onto that corner. Jorgamo to reposition with the TP. Needs some help though. Boostio through the smoke. Taking the fight right to it. Not enough to reset to claim that second. Jorgamo.
Oh, they don't know.
Still alive, anchoring towards the back, but he's fired shots off now, just creating a bit of distraction. The rest of his team helping him out, but Com is brought down. Time needs to be bought here. I mean, Jorgamo's already deep into the site. Even's not there with him. It's brought into this 1v1.
Oh, almost.
Consistency laid bare. It's 6-6.
Almost.
6-6, and he's dropping the back.
Yeah, I don't think they're quite there yet, to be honest. They really done enough.
भाई ये तो मार रहा है.
मेरे को लगा हेवन वाले को भी मार देगा वो.
हाँ मेरे को भी लगा था.
बैटल ऑफ रिएक्शन हो गया उसका रिएक्शन थोड़ा फास्ट था.
नेट के नीचे से मारता तो शायद बेटर एंगल में.
The third in China. Desk, what are you making of it?
Thank you very much, Bren. And Saisho not expecting perhaps a curse here. But let's take a look at the Verizon high-speed moment, because despite the fact that EG only managed to get 6 rounds, Mimi, Demon 1 was on form.
But the thing is, Demon 1 was on form. This is great. I mean, this clip was ridiculous. I feel like this is an EG that has had to, in this half, even just to get 6 rounds, rely a lot more on these individual moments. This wasn't what was happening at Tokyo. Sure, there were individual step-ups, and it's always good to have, but they were consistently able to take down teams like FPX. Here, EG has been struggling to contend with their weird style, and I think, Baby Bay, FPX is playing to an expectation far above what anyone would have set for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the major thing that I've noticed is they're just willing to take their time when they're down a guy. Like how many first bloods did EG get there from Demon 1? And then they just slow the round down, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, EG starts like freaking out. And I wouldn't say freaking out, but they start getting antsy.
I mean, as you guys heard from Boostio in the pre-match as well, he only expected FPX to get 8 rounds, not on one map, Mimi, in this entire series. And FPX, they've got 6 already, so it's not looking very good for Boostio.
Yeah, I think this is far less dominant than EG would have thought it was going to be. The setup here was that EG needed a dominant group. This was their chance to get out, to continue going as they were. And right now they're struggling a little bit against this double controller comp. But in the second half, it's really, again, this question of how is FPX going to play this one? Because I think we saw the ideas with it in the first half, being able to scale out sites, put down these weird smokes to get space. I think that's a little harder to get value out of on defense.
Yeah, you know what? I almost want EG to like let them have 8 rounds already, so they can just have that out of their mind. Like I feel like they might be just trying to like play a little bit too much to that, and I feel like we'll see the real EG once that 8 round mark gets passed up. So I really hope, you know, that this pistol round is one from FPX.
Oh, okay, baby. Not what I expected there. Saisho and Brent, what did you make of that?
Listen, I'm all here for it. I mean, throw some chaos into the mix. The #1 seed from America getting upset by FPX, you know, the 3rd seed out of China. I would love that, honestly, for the group stage, because otherwise this group would be
6-6 मेरे को नहीं लगा था यार कि होगा. अजय भाई ने 14 मारा, क्या बात है.
If things continue in this way,
exactly.
EG getting set up, and one of the things that you can look at from FPX's side is how they favor attack and defense on Ascent. Usually, all teams are going to be defense on this map. It's the opposite for FPX. They normally win about 60% of.
भाई स्काई ब्लाइंड बीटी देने वाला है. जैसे टरेट मारेगा.
Yeah, flash and dart to clear most of it, but doesn't clear the players up into heaven. As a high-low setup down below. No one in the fights out. It's EG coming out on top.
भाई थोड़ा अर्ली नहीं दिया वो.
बराबर तो दिया भाई.
ब्लाइंड अर्ली दिया ना.
To be able to get back in on. One paranoia, maybe a stun or a pull, but Berlin goes in ahead of Nishan, trying to make something happen, and this looks like an extremely clean pistol.
Yeah, very clean. kind of response I think you'd
हाँ
probably
हाँ
want
हो
if
गया
you're a fan of North America.
हो गया जीत गए.
I mean, they are giving them the business.
They really are.
I could understand it if EG were up 8-1 or something like that, but considering FPX are really pushing them and had a nice looking attack side, they're setting themselves up for something.
Set themselves up for...
Might be another G at the end of this and some egg on the face.
What did Mimi say? If FPX have the potential to do the funniest thing in Valorant history.
Do the funniest thing.
Yeah, we could see it. Everyone's here to play. It's champs at the end of the day, so... 7-6, EG. Big advantage of the economy. Deep flash, Ayang. Getting that information, but it's a very spread out attack side default from EG, so it doesn't really grant him too much more. Drone sets up Jorgamo, so he can hold on to this A main control, grab the orb, spray a couple of bullets, and it has pulled a ton of players from FPX over.
I really like the usage of these smokes that bloom out of the choke point, as you can see here on A. It just puts a lot of pressure. It's drawn a ton of players over towards the A side. 4 players there trying to defend it from FPX because they got utility denied, information denied. Any of the attacking players could just spill through the smoke in a multitude of angles. And EG are still playing very spread. The way that EG like to play their attack side throughout Tokyo and the run towards the latter stages of VCT Americas was that they would try and take map control and insert Demon 1 somewhere to force a pick. But at the moment, he's just grouped up with Ethan, playing things together.
Relatively cautious, but it looks like it's trending towards a bit of this B split, which leaves it up to Berlin. He's only got a classic, so unlikely to get too much done, but maybe, there was a chance. There was util out in the hands of Boostio. The rest of FPX now scampering and scurrying all the way over. The clearance here towards mid-com. Needs to not lose this gun, and well, the Bulldog definitely got that damage advantage. There's the fundamentals, Ethan. Helping him out. Swinging out through onto market, just trying to spot out where Isao is. Ethan, yeah, facing it. So, very clean. Flawless, in fact.
Not too bad. EG really look like they've woken up on the attack side here. We'll see if it continues.
ये राउंड डिसाइड करेगा क्या FPX में वो बात है.
Just a ludicrous amount. Prime Game and Flawless is going to really help them keep the economy looking fairly strong. Now, having said that, they did have 2 Spectres and a Stinger. It's not like they have...
I think EG rush करेगा ये round. घुस जाएंगे शायद साथ में.
नहीं हारेंगे ये round.
भाई स्ट्रेट घुसना थोड़ा दर्द है बे.
दर्द तो है
ये round हारेंगे.
कैसे यार? देखो अभी फ्लैश आएगा मस्ट बी मेन पे घुसेंगे एकदम.
वो केओ को देखना पोज में खड़ा है.
हाँ उनका एग्जीक्यूट है.
अयो भाई ये बाप रे.
क्रेजी डुएलिस्ट है भाई. वेट इसको साउंड नहीं आया.
आया ये जेट को आया. आया नहीं आया ऐसा कैसे?
आया रहेगा.
चलो घर भेज दिया.
क्या टाइमिंग हुआ यार.
टाइमिंग नहीं है एग्जीक्यूशन है परफेक्ट.
क्या परफेक्ट. चलो नेट ने डाला तो 100% मारता हो.
कौन स्टेयर्स वाला
किलजॉय.
बीमेन पे था वो.
हाँ
You'd expect to see Com or potentially Ethan here chasing to try and get these kills.
ब्लाइंड वेंट कुछ नहीं था, बस ड्रोन पे वो बहुत पहले पीक लिया था.
Com's looking for it.
Spots the one. Rest of his team now grouping up, but looks like they have no intention of just trying to take that fight.
No, it's just a little a standoff, a stalemate happening over here. The
trenches are dug out. Yeah.
Fair enough. Bit of respect shown.
चलो एक और चांस दे दिया है.
With that save, FPX are going to have enough for a serious buy here in round 16. And this is where they need to halt the momentum. You take a look at how this worked. I mean, Lysor's in front of his turret, as you were pointing out, Brent. With utility
भाई वो क्या मारा यार उसने.
भाई इसने इसा केजे का गलती है भाई.
गलती क्या, टाइमिंग हुआ है गांडू.
क्या टाइमिंग है भाई, गलती है पूरी की पूरी. आराम से पीछे के लो ना, क्यों आनी है.
पीछे नहीं खेलना चाहिए, मतलब उनका गोल है वो राउंड कंट्रोल नहीं देने का उनको, इसलिए वन वे स्मोक भी किया था उनसे। उसका गलत ये हुआ कि वो मॉली निकाल दिया।
मॉली निकाला।
Cut up for the moment. There's going to be a pull through the choke point, but is it too late? It might just be. Still players into the side. You from heaven. He's eventually traded.
ओए ब्लाइंड में मार दिया।
Even just
हो गया भाई, इजी फॉर्म में।
out in the open, getting his
क्या पीक है इनका, मुझे मजा आ रहा है।
बर्लिन ने विफ कर दिया वापस।
बुर्लिन टीवन का बेस्ट फ्रेंड है ना, इसलिए आई मीन फेवरेट प्लेयर है ना।
ब्रो अजय भाई मार रहे।
अजय भाई तो मार ही रहे।
ये है भाई वो, ये
नहीं
अजय,
ये
oh shot.
Yeah, I mean the beginning of these rounds, it's just been such a rapid pace off the rip.
It's been very disrespectful, I think, in terms of not really caring if FPX are in a
Coach
position
का नाम
to
क्या है?
punish them.
Yeah.
Potter. हैरी पॉटर।
पहले मतलब क्या कहीं थी क्या ये?
बहुत पहले से।
प्लेयर थी पहले, उसके बाद हाँ आई थिंक सो, बट वो पहले प्लेयर थी, अभी कोच है।
मेजॉरिटी सारे कोच वैसे रहते हैं ना, पहले प्लेयर रहता है।
नहीं ऐसा नहीं, हमारा जो टीम में था
मेजॉरिटी।
अच्छा नहीं एक्चुअली पता नहीं किस किस लोग को ऐसा समझ में आ जाता है कि उनके पास दिमाग है, बट ऐसा मैकेनिक्स नहीं है, समझ रहे ना, ऐसा खेलने के लिए ऐसा। तो ऐसा लोग ऐसा थोड़ा कोचिंग बन जाते हैं।
They just want to overpower FPX. Yeah. Sometimes the faster you play and the more aggressively you play, the more mistakes you force out of your opponent. And with a team like FPX, yeah, they've got strong players, and they can certainly win aim duels and create some chaos and interesting strategies. But they also make a ton of mistakes. And you take the good with the bad when it comes with teams like FPX. But when you're playing against them, trying to force out those mistakes is often a key win condition.
What's interesting here is Demon 1 now has picked up the operator off the back of a lot of fast XX into sights. I wonder if EG were just trying to condition it. And now going into much slower play, you are really forced down to a crawl. Of course, Demon 1 does have the Blade Storm, so they can speed it up at any time. It's not going to be limited to just the weaponry. Hunting for a pick.
They may have been anticipating some kind of half-by tiles crunch play there. But FPX are forced with two Bulldogs.
Drone broken, bit of damage there, the bullets landing. Not enough for the kill. Jorgamo survives over the top, breaking the Trailblazer. Doing enough in the early portion of this round as well, removing and cutting away any information that FPX are trying to get just through the sky util.
Potential
still
for
have two flashes.
Potential for a jet battle here on Catwalk. Actually, though, FPX looking like they want to reclear through A main.
They didn't even use a flash for it. Just a recall star and a face.
Yeah.
Fully grouped up and pushing now.
I quite like it, though. You don't give any indication to EG that you're in this area of the map.
Oh, and they are pushed deep. Lambot's being broken. EG are not aware of this.
30 seconds left.
It's going to be happening behind them. Demon 1.
What the heck?
Back being faced to Ayang. Flash round to the side here, and here's the players from the top section of mid. All of that deep flank. Demon 1 left to try and contain and push them back. Lysor capitalizing off of it. Swinging in the midst of all of that, and time is running more than short right now. There's about 11 seconds left. They don't have control of A main, don't have control of the site, and Ayang dealing damage and a death and a blow. Nieshao still in control of it.
I'm back. Oh wow.
मिस हो गया थोड़ा शॉट्स इनका.
Great call by Berlin there. What a fantastic decision to triple reclear through A main. They left a gaping gap over towards tree. Demon 1 with the operator is not.
लेकिन वो स्काई मारता था ना, तो ये लोग मिड से ए शॉट जाते थे तो ये लोग पीछे से मार देते थे, पता?
ए मेन से या टॉप मिड से?
हाँ, टॉप मिड से. ये लोग का पुश कंट्रोल बहुत अच्छा किया ये लोग ने.
And Lysor wins the duel.
One call, changing the tide of things here. But we see a return to the faster plays of EG. That was what was winning them these rounds on the attack side. Yuko though, operator, misses the flick, Ethan. He was watching it from the top side of mid. Had the protocols there.
And that's a very bold play to go for Yuko when nobody's watching your top mid and there's no utility really to block that off.
Another clearance, this is contact plays into main. Jorgamo spots it out, had the ult in his hands, thinking about a quick pivot. Maybe still considering it. Call yet to be made by the rest of the team, but they are grouping up now over towards B, and they have pushed Demon 1 into a deep 4 position into mid. Paranoia re-clear.
Lysol's got to back off now.
Yeah, got to play around your util, but still Lysol's just holding his ground, and he falls TP into the back Berlin. He does remove him. Jorgamo's gone. Hunter's Fury though, there's a connection, and there is the kill.
भाई भाग ही नहीं सकता
Getting value from it.
भाई डेमन का 2 बार मिस हो गया
भाई ये मार तो रहा है
Still, it's a 2v3. FPX could make something of this one. He's now just trying to play this one fast and loose as well, not waiting for any sort of timing. Spotted out though. There's
भाई
He's brought it down. And Com playing into main. Ayang still, he spotted him short.
Oh,
the edge of the gun. Edge of the
baby!
Nails the shot.
Indeed.
It's just been incredible for FPX here in map 1. Winning the Demon 1's operator comes through, claims another 3
Single-handedly निकाल दिया round ये तो.
क्या sexy मारा भाई.
And identifies compositioning, remembering that.
Ajay bhai opa in chat.
Oh!
Look at the aim. It's so sharp from him.
That's 1-3-2-2 supremacy.
Yeah, that is top form. He's feeling it.
And like I said,
he's still one of the GOAT crosshair, huh?
He's looked a little limp recently.
1-3-2-2?
Yeah, bro.
Oh, ज़्यादा लोग यूज नहीं करते हैं. आजकल लोग ऐसा बहुत weird crosses यूज करते हैं. Dot रहता है या ऐसा outlines on रहता है. पूरा black color रहता है वरना.
He's having an excellent game and keeping FPX within.
बहुत common crosser है 1-4-2-0. वो plus Jesus.
Reached a round limitation, Josh. You were interviewing in the morning with the arrivals.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
He said 13-4, 13-4.
Well,
that ain't happening.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Not at this rate. It is steadily getting closer and closer, creeping towards the danger zone. You know, we were saying earlier as well, we needed to see the adjustments from FPX after losing, was it 4 rounds in a row? You can see from the timeline.
भाई 21 मारे भाई उसने.
The adjustments have been there.
हाँ सर्वर में टॉप फ्रैगर है वो पूरा.
Their ability to
वो भी
reclaim
दूर तक
I mean, that's what we've seen in round 17 and 18. That's given them such freedom to be able to rotate people off. Because once they realize that A main is clear, they're completely aware that EG are going into B splits or looking towards tree. This time, I think EG are looking to try and adapt upon the adaptation. They look like they want to take much earlier A main control. At least Jorgamo is positioned more aggressively.
That's a crazy way to peek that with the updraft, but spots a player towards top mid. Yuko going to be pinging it out and repositioning, making sure he stays fluid with the operator. It's pretty important. Double clearance now over towards Cap from EG, droning into mid to just try and.
क्या मारेगा ये is the question.
Going forward with this hit, is there any util to clear?
नहीं इतना easily shots नहीं देंगे. Utility use करेंगे शायद.
Right behind him. Who wins this fight out? Dash is
Dry pick तो नहीं देंगे.
Pick नहीं करते रे ये लोग. Dry pick एक dry pick नहीं करते.
कुछ तो आएगा.
Corner.
Left में ही है. Left में
as well. He's
Oh है.
So that may have ruined the timing. They might want to pivot this.
इसको बहुत खुजली हो रही है. हाँ.
Flash. Didn't get deaded.
Oi.
Second one does.
What?
Yeah, this has been slowed. Down to 35 seconds now.
पूरा split up है एकदम. अरे.
Wow. What an angle to peek off the Alabos contact.
Oh, good trade.
Meanwhile, it's a battle taking place on the other
जाएंगे
section
देख
of the
लियो.
map, but EG have no intention of going over towards A. Straight down mid, right into Lysor.
Please save him, please.
The spikes drop
मेरे
down.
को लगा सीधा अल्टी भी मार देगा.
अरे अभी पिक कर रहा है भाई वो.
भाई खुजली देखो बे 5 HP में.
अभी भी पिक कर रहा है.
ना he whipped.
मारा.
अरे चोमो है के. भाई बंदा बहुत ढीठ है भाई.
In a 1v2, the form has been good, but does not expect it. The positioning.
भाई फॉरवर्ड क्यों निकाला बे?
अरे इतना अच्छा टाइम बाय कर सकता था वो केजे पता नहीं.
उसको भी मार सकता था बे. थोड़ा लेफ्ट राइट.
नहीं
ब्लाइंड हो गया ना वो.
हाँ ब्लाइंड हो गया.
क्या कर सकता था केजे मतलब इतना लो है. बैक साइड में जाएगा ही नहीं.
But here's where Ayang made this round winnable, and Lysor as
अच्छा
well.
trade
These two
वो थोड़ा ईगो में आया पूरा
Angels
हाँ?
very consistently against
नहीं आई
EG.
थिंक वो एक किल मार दूंगा
Lighted
समझ
up, but still pushed.
उसको आया कि भाई मैं मार सकता हूँ
EG
मैं
though
मार
creep
सकता हूँ
further
ऐसा
and
कुछ
further
आया
into the finish line.
सोच
इनर वॉइस बोला उसको
इनर वॉइस कर सकते हैं कुछ लगेगा भी देख लियो ऐसा
Pistols for FPX, plenty of ults to use here, trying to play aggressively, spamming through the wall with it, dart tagging, Lysor in so much trouble.
एक और spam का आएगा
here, lockdown, used, shot missing. The bunny hops just narrowly avoiding all these bullets that are flying straight through them, but you got to respect this lockdown now. Has to be the evacuation. Is there any sort of utility to stop it? Updraft dash, yep, nade into the corner, along with the Nana Swarm. It clears them
Killjoy का
out,
नसीब ही खराब है
pushes them back, gives that player advantage, but for EG right now, still.
ये round तो गया
Post plant actually, as long as they get this plant down, is actually quite good. They have been main control still, and with that kill, again, the advantage keeps going their way.
ये को दिखाओ
Flash and a repeat, slight miss, but still with the rifles. Maybe they can get these kills up. Yuko, last one left.
भाई क्या मार रहा है डीमन यार
हो गया भाई जी जी
पहले अच्छा खेला बे बहुत अच्छा खेला एफपीएक्स
क्या अच्छा खेला है कितना
बर्लिन ने नहीं मारा यार उतना अगर बर्लिन मारा तो और क्लोज जाता था
They've looked good. They have a lot of big ultimates.
अजय ने अच्छा खेला यार अजय
Results is, you know, forcing EG to take unfavorable duels and ended up winning them with Lysor. I just don't think. I think there's been too many mistakes for them to win 4 in a row. They're going to have to really bring the consistency here towards the end of map 1.
Let's see if it can happen. Still with the attack side operator, Team 1 will be forced to slow this one down, but EG look like they're almost setting up 4.
हाँ हो गया भाई चलो अल्ट आ गया इसका
You can see both the Killjoy and the Astra
घुसेंगे सीधा और क्या
पीछे वो है ना स्मोक और पुल एस्ट्रा
कैसे अल्ट मारेगा ये
एस्ट्रा बी पे है ना गंड मरे
इसलिए वो लोग देखो किलजॉय का
वो
यूटिल है
बी पे अल्ट मारेगा तो किलजॉय नेड वेट चालू करेगा और ओमेन स्मोक देगा
भाई मस्त आइडिया यार लव यू गाइस
Placing the deep smoke. Dart as well to mid.
पूरा पीछे पीछे खड़े
Have a clue what could be occurring.
अरे किसका लंबोट था वो क्या था वो
With this, low command comes through, and they are going to be able to dead these. So look at that.
पुल आ गया स्मोक आ गया
It's out. Berlin still anchoring towards the back. Cannot use the util.
और लग गए
Entering for them with the
हो गया
चलो हो गया
प्रो डेमन ने मारा भेजो
भाई ऑफ से एंट्री कर रहा है वो
Everybody on form right now for EG, and they can feel it. This is it.
कुछ भी मारा ऐसे ही मारा रैंडम
Number 1. Team hungry to get this done and over.
भाई ऑफ से एंट्री कर रहा है बे
बोला कि नहीं सिंगल डिजिट होगा
It's a 13-8 finish.
सेक्सी खेला
बोला कि नहीं तुम लोग को
Definitely pushing them.
बोला
ये अच्छा खेला
Men will be men.
You know, a great performance from Ayoung, I think, in terms of his individual.
ये नहीं आ जाइए उसका नाम
But EG were certainly able to pull ahead on their attack side. FPX only winning 2 defensive rounds on Ascent.
देखो मैं जा रहा हूँ
That tracks with how they've played the match.
जा रहे तो
मेरा भी गुड
Much better on the attack side than the
जा रहे हो
यस मैं तो निकला
बाय बाय
बैंगलोर बॉयज फॉर द विन यार इतना सेम टू सेम रहेगा गुड नाइट टाटा
चलो गुड नाइट टाटा
is if they can turn that into maps or even a
Bye-bye.
series.
चलो chat it's time to Niklesh
Not really the
thank you all for tuning in
defensive
और
setups, the good ideas.
see you on next stream जाके सो जाओ तुम लोग भी ठीक है बाय बाय गुड नाइट बोलते stay safe stay healthy stay happy लगा yourself bye bye good night good night good night good night अरे रुको एक सेकंड हाँ चलो मैं क्या बोलता बाय बाय गाइस गुड नाइट